to the CWL Pro League presented by the PlayStation 4. We have the best Call of Duty teams from around the world competing, and we are so excited to get it underway.
Gentlemen, it is now day 2 of the CWL Pro League Division B coverage. My name is Jack Courage Dunlop, and I'm joined by Momo for this cast, and I am absolutely chuffed for this one, as it's Epsilon going up against LG.
Jack, I'm just proud that you've learned the word chuffed definition.
I still don't know, as I'm just going to hope I didn't say something bad on broadcast. One thing that could be bad is the chances for...
But these guys are coming in as potentially, technically the lowest seed in Division B. LG was definitely the top seed, and firstly, last, if you like, Epsilon, they had their struggles, and LG are looking like a world-class team. JCap's going to kick things off, though. Hard point on London Dogs. Let's kick it off.
There we are. On over to John now as he comes off the respawn built by JCap. He's just trying to play through gate as he gets shut down. Nobody in the hard point yet. As I say that, Epsilon do get the first point on the board. As we know, LG, their slaying prowess is big, but they don't rely on just that, Momo, to win. They are kind of a well-balanced team when thinking of rotations and playing around the objective and being, selfless when it comes down to getting into the hard point when the team needs it most.
Yeah, and don't forget we've already seen LG play this game yesterday. I think you were on board to put DG in the 50-point club. I think that was broken. But nevertheless, Hawkeye had a fantastic game, nearly breaking the 50-kill mark as well yesterday. And kind of crazy how we're in the second hard point. We're sat at 5-5 in the points. But the spawns, in fact, are in favour of LG going into the road, and here on the main street, JCap, PPSH in hand. We're going to see Slacked and Vortex trade things out. Once again, Luminosity dictating those spawns.
Yeah, we saw some big moments yesterday from a few of the players on Epsilon, one of them being Nathan. Right now, obviously, has his hands full as LG up 15-5, and now this is where they'll finally look to get, full control of the hard point for the first time on this map. But as I say that, it's Nathan with the opening 2, a botch nade from Octane. There's the retake. Epsilon looking for their second lead of the game.
And again, still not a lot of points put on the board. 30 seconds left here on the main street, and we do have those spawns flipped. So LG now will be pushing through and trying to gain something. But look at that, Nathan already on full streaks pretty much there. If he can get one more assist even, that will get him the flamethrower. There it is. The assist comes in. He's got full streaks. Epsilon take the lead. Great start.
I mentioned Nathan yesterday had some brilliant moments. Again, he's bringing him into day 2, now at 9-4 on a 5 streak, 30-plus seconds in the objective. LG will be on the rotation, down by about 18, but keep in mind those streaks Nathan has to use if things begin to fall out of Epsilon's favor. They will try to go gun up for the first break here as kills are traded near middle map.
Octane finds 2, Nathan answers back, but Octane finds the 3rd, and we do see the Docs down there, fully in control of Luminosity. Now taking the lead here. You've got to remember the streaks are in the hands of Nathan, but Octane bagging himself full streaks as well.
Yeah.
JCap 1-7 at the moment. Bit of a slow start. See if he picks that up a little bit later on.
And JCap's 1-7 is matched by Dave's 2-10. So each team has a player going off with 12 kills. They both have 2 players around dead even, and then 1 person lagging behind. We'll see who that person that's lagging behind is that can begin to come back for their team. LG have held this hard point absolutely flawlessly up to this point. John will have a one-on-one here. He will lose it, so scrap time will go over to Epsilon, bringing it back to about a 10-point game.
Yeah, and the push from Epsilon as well will force the spawn out. You got 2 players now coming in from either side. Octane just trying to anchor here at the back. He doesn't want to die. He will go down. Look at that. Finds one. Slacked and John combining. The last one has been spotted. It's Dave running tail between his legs here. And Octane's giving chase as is Slacked up close and personal. And that's how Slacked likes it. JCap pushing out as well. And Luminosity Gaming, they've got full control of barrels here, and they don't look in any position to lose this either.
And this is the thing, right? They're not outslaying like they do a lot of the times where they kind of have the map just go exactly how they want. Here, they're having to play down and dirty, dead even slaying, fight for these spawns, but their mind's in the right place, and that's what makes LG such a great team. Even when they're not outslaying by 20-plus kills, they know what they need to do as a squad. They're extremely balanced in regards to knowing, when it's time to get aggressive, when it's time to wait for teammates' help. And it shows right now as they've now doubled the score of Epsilon.
Okay, now we're going into the crane shortly. We may see some of those streaks come in on your screen. Slack, though, putting another magazine in the PPSH, trying to bait him out with a few shots.
Look at the mini-map. Look at the mini-map.
Oh, my goodness. We're going to full spawn out there. One player left, and that's going to be Hawkeye. He's taken off, and you see number 7, that is Octane, just turn around, anticipating all those spawns. And Epsilon, they kind of let that one slip a little bit, I feel.
LG have outscored Epsilon 100-7 in the last 3 hills. It looks like finally Epsilon will get the kills they need. Now they're going to begin to pressure towards this hard point. 1 streak used. Again, I'm never the biggest fan of the Mortar Strike. If I had to guess, Mortar Strike gets kills, 1 out of every 5 that are used.
Definitely a situational streak. With me and Chance were actually talking about it on the desk. Mortar Strike, it's interesting, but these guys obviously are using it day in, day out, and that's the one they're opting for. Octane currently sitting at 17 and 10 from the star-studded performance, and another double kill comes in. It's going to put him on a 3-kill streak. And into the crane here. 123 and counting. Luminosity looking to run away with this. Both Dave and JCap still lagging behind a bit, but right now, I think Dave's in a much worse position. Nearly 100 behind.
One thing I do want to touch on, Nathan, the AR on the side of Epsilon at 19 and 13, leading his team. Obviously, Octane, the AR of LG, leading his team at 21 and 10. Is that just 2 players having good maps? Is that, based off of the play style currently of this game? What is it for you?
I think it's simply one team outclassing the other. No matter, if you're a good AR, such as Nathan, you can sit back, you can pick up those kills where Slack maybe, caught off guard running, but it's those SMGs for Epsilon, which I feel bad for Dave being one of them. You're trying to go into gunfights primarily at the disadvantage against someone like Octane, someone like Slack, Cap, and John. All 4 of them absolutely fantastic so far. And that 100-point lead now is going to be taken back for Luminosity Gaming. They're starting to push out here. The 9 seconds on statue, though, is going to go just to Luminosity. Can Epsilon gain anything back here?
We just had a full rotation from the second hard point now to the second hill in the second rotation, and it was a 129 to 11 score difference. LG just absolutely running away with this map as expected. Nathan's still doing everything he can. He still has 2 streaks to his name, but it's Octane with this FG that has been going off all map, 26 and 13.
Nathan with the flamethrowers were ready to pounce. His team are in trouble. He may be able to come from behind and pick up 2, maybe 3. There's the first, there's the second. Machine Pistol finds the third. Yes, it will. Nathan again picking up the kills. How influential will it be, though, is the question.
There's Octane.
A classic. He's going to find 2. He's going to get the spawns. There is only 20 seconds left, and I will say Epsilon have done a little bit better on this. But a team kill coming in from Vortex. Not what you want. Let's go down to the docks.
Oh, look at this. Look at this from Slack. If he plays this right, he should have a free 2-piece here. Will he get spotted? Doesn't appear so. Fighter pilot in. They know exactly where every single player is. And the calls are coming to play as well. Slack with another. That's 3 kills on rotation. LG showing why they are regarded as one of the top 3 teams in the world.
Yeah, and Octane will just sit here all day. Any player trying to cross will take him down, but he's going to be shot in the back. Again, it's by Nathan. Well, John and Slack are down by the docks, and they're picking up kill after kill. Cap definitely starting to get back into it, as is Dave. Started slow, but it's Octane 29 and 16. Slacks that PPSH lighting up here, 25 and 19 as well. A one-sided affair, to say the least. The question will be asked, what can Epsilon do? And right now, I don't know the answer.
Yeah, 12 kill difference between these teams as well. Still with 2 streaks is Nathan. The flamethrower hasn't done too much yet. Octane 1 kill off of a 30 bomb in map 1. He's going to be going for it right here as they go for one final retake. They want the scrap time. There's the 30th kill. And now it's up to Hawkeye to hold off this one, but look at the spawns. JCap spawns up near back garage. He's got Slack here with him as well.
And just keeping these spawns are really crucial. If Slack can stay alive just whilst his teammates push over from the docks, it shouldn't come in, and you shouldn't be winning that gunfight with a PPSH there. He does. He finds 2.
He had Primed up. Primed helps him right there. Reduces some of that recoil. Able to hit those shots from range, even when being tagged up by an AR. Dave, though, with 3 of his own, he's finally showing some life more than anybody. He gets full streaks.
Yeah, Dave was sitting at about -10, now only -6. However, it's not changing anything in terms of points. We're going to see the glide bomb come in, more than likely into the hard point. There we go, 2-piece from Dave. And we are going to see Vortex retake control of this hard point. There's still 25 seconds here, Jack. And before we go down to the crane, which we will see, LG can put themselves within spitting distance of this victory.
Yep, and they're going to keep flooding this hard point. Nathan's the last one here. Nathan only able to get one with that flamethrower. Thankfully, Vortex is now contesting, so they're trying to give up no scrap time. And I say thankfully he's contesting as Hawkeye lands a nade right at his feet. Final 10 seconds to LG. They're now 22 seconds away from winning this game 1.
And it's just, you know, too little too late here for Epsilon. No matter what you can do, there's too many rotations of hills left, and I think we may see Luminosity put them to bed, even on the docks here. Next couple of kills could be crucial. Hawkeye watching the flank, and Octane will be taken down, and Dave as well, finding something. So they break the 100 points. But how far can they go exactly? This is a tough one for Epsilon.
You know, where Octane's kind of quieted down now, 30 and 21. It's Slack who's actually begun to pick up the pace. He's at 32 kills, second in the lobby, only 2 Nathan. So looks like a full 60 for Epsilon, but again, the deficit's so large that giving up 60 full seconds will still have LG up by about 100 in this game.
Yeah, and LG, you know, they're in no position to worry, panic, or anything like that. They can set up for the rotation. And we go into the middle hill, which is, yes, sometimes very scrappy. And yes, Nathan does have streaks alongside Dave, so they could close the gap here. Can they win? It's going to be, a lot of people will say, near on impossible task. Let's stay on board with Dave, see what he can do with these streaks.
Comes a fighter pile. They should at least kill the player in the hill. There they go. Entry through gate now as they go to pressure Slacked inside of Beer, and they will kill him as well. So Epsilon doing a better job as this game has gone on, but the question is, again, as you said, is it too little too late?
Luminosity Gaming only 14 points away. Caps ran out of bullets there. Slack's going to finish him off. Vortex does answer back, and I'm actually surprised that this game is going on this long. Because Epsilon, they are hanging in it. We are going to see a rotation, I believe, down to the main street. But again, LG, they're set up here, and I think they may be just giving this last bit up as well.
You might as well. You got the spawns. Even if they do go for one last push, I mean, they're forcing Epsilon to keep bodies near this hard point, right? No one from Epsilon able to push through because LG keeps swarming for the scrap time.
Yeah. And LG is still pushing 5 seconds, and that number 8 player, Slack, 38 and 29. Incredible amount of interactions there. Oh, and they're going to have to track back because they've taken down the player on the hill. Important kills, and Octane would surely have sealed that one. And we're going to see Luminosity take it with about a 100-point lead here.
How crazy was that? It was Epsilon off the break looking great, you know, up by about 20 seconds, and then LG just, I think for one full rotation of hills, outscored Epsilon by almost 2.5 minutes. And once you get a lead like that, and you're a team as polished as LG, there's really no way you give that up.
Yeah, and LG are not going to do that to just Epsilon. They will punish a lot of teams.
Yep.
Both here, Division B, there's a lot of teams in Division A that they can do that to. Raw slaying power of those 4 boys on the main stage, it is very scary. Absolutely. But hardpoint is done. Will we see another hardpoint? That is the question. Or is it just going to be a 3-0 sweep for Luminosity?
And remember our standings coming into today, LG sitting atop Division B, a perfect 2-0, looking to keep that record as clean as possible. Only 1 map lost so far. It was the CTF to Unilad. Hardpoint, undefeated, no doubt they are 4-0 to this point.
Yeah, and I don't see that changing
Nope.
dramatically. I am interested to see how the likes of E United, maybe Splice with their full roster, would go up against LG. But still, those matches that I talk about, I'm still leaning towards that Luminosity side. However, we are still in this series. We're only on 1 map, and of course Luminosity taking it. Search and Destroy coming up next. Epsilon, can they steal a map? Can they get something under the belt? Take away something from the game. I think that's the goal right now.
I think that absolutely is the goal as we take a look at the teams here. I would like to bring up the 5-map breakdown if we can, just to take a look again at the maps we'll be playing as the series goes on. We keep thinking it will be a 3-0. Map 1 gives us the map 1 victory for LG, kind of making that prediction look a little bit more reasonable, but Arden, Forest, S&D, London Dock, CTF, if there is a game mode that they can win for Epsilon? Are either of them on the screen right now?
I don't see it happening. I feel Luminosity, again, Arden Forest, when you get the pressure from Slacked, John, it is so hard to shut down, and then, you know, those long-range gunfights on Arden Forest, which we see time and time again, the likes of Tommy, the likes of Clay, and when you put it in the hands, should I say, of Octane, they're very hard to stop. You put them in them power positions. I think Luminosity do take the Search and Destroy as well.
Yeah, and the scary thing is, if it does go to a Game 4, you're going to face LG on Gibraltar, which is no easy task. in and of itself, but you've got to get there first. Epsilon with their hands full today. We saw Unilat fall earlier to Splice, and I didn't really get to hear your thoughts too much on the series. I know you broke it down the desk, but for you, from what you've seen so far, are Unilat and Epsilon on the same caliber?
No, I don't think so. I think Unilat are a step ahead for sure. Unilat, I kind of feel a little bit bad for. As soon as they got 1v2'd by Tommy on...
it all fell apart.
Yeah, it could have gone 4-4 S&D. Instead, they lose it. They get destroyed on the CTF, and they'll have to rethink that game plan. However, Epsilon, I do think, are a little bit of a step behind Unilat as well. We saw what Unilat did against Luminosity yesterday, a 3-1 victory for LG. And it was it the Search and Destroy that they took? CTF it was they took, so a big surprise. But again, LG just cleaning series is out. Nathan is going to be rocking that sniper. We actually saw what he could do with it yesterday. I had some squeaky voice moments, so I'll try and tone that down a bit for you guys at home.
We've been casting a lot of Ardent Forest Search and Destroy. We'll see what the opening strategy is for...
Interested to see what Nathan does here. Is he opting to B or go mid? He's going for these yellow back. So we have the luxury of seeing the X-ray vision. Oh, you don't want it. That's tough. I say tough, but silly maybe.
That looked like a panic right there. He went like jump as he got shot at. Thankfully, Slack getting a little bit too over-aggressive, and there's no opportunity for a trade to make this a 3v3. Nathan, that was probably the most exposed you're going to get of John at that wall of cover, so you got to hit that shot if he gives you an opportunity like that.
Yeah, Nathan's a fantastic sniper, don't get me wrong. I'm really curious of the push from Slack. Maybe just a bit too confident, not giving the respect that Epsilon do deserve here, but a 3v2 in favour of Epsilon does leave Octane and John in a difficult position. John,
look at this.
Oh no, this is bad.
Oh, look at this.
This is very bad.
Oh, look at this. Only able to get one, but he will call it to Octane where every single player is and remains. 1 versus 2.
I think that was the best scenario Epsilon could wish for there for a 1-1 trade. See, Octane just trying to figure out exactly where the players are going. Epsilon should be able to close this one out with some form of trade. Yeah, difficult position for Octane. Well played, Epsilon.
Dave wins that round for this team.
Yep, really does.
He waits for Slack to push on into Bell, gets the kill, wins a 1v1 gunfight in the middle map, and then gets the 3rd engagement victory as well. He plants the bomb too. I believe he's 1 or 2 kills off of burning himself streaks in just round 2.
I mean, we saw obviously Slack kind of get a little bit too aggressive there. I kind of missed myself how Cap died. It was at the same time.
That was the mid street gunfight.
Okay, so
he kills him at Bell, rotates the mid street, goes to fire tank, and just guns Cap, holding that cabin alley area.
Look at Octane's tactic, and he's trying to finish off with an 8. John is going fast and furious, maybe finding a second, and unfortunately for Hawkey, does get taken down. Hawkey actually took Octane with him there, so a 3v2 now in favour of the LG squad. The bomb has gone down, and that time is straight on 40 seconds here. Dave, difficult position, maybe waiting for an exit play.
Yeah, look at how far away his teammate is. I mean, Vortex is still in the spawn of LG. They've got to make this play happen. You kind of want Vortex to peek first, give Dave a chance to maybe get a kill and get something going for these streaks as he's so close to him. J-Cap. Oh, it's a rough gunfight. Dave now 1 kill off of earning himself 2 score streaks.
And I love that from John. John knew exactly where Dave was there, and he used the whole close quarter combat with your BPS ace to his advantage. Great play from John. Again, said it on the desk before. A lot of people talking about John as maybe one of the best in the game right now, or the best in the game right now.
Yeah, so, he's been regarded as that for the past couple of years since he was our MVP back at COD Champs in 2016. Tied up 1-1. Vortex plays top 4 at that event as well, alongside his former lineup. Coming into this one now, Epsilon on offense. Last time you hoped Nathan could get a snipe near A. It looks like now they'll hope he'll get a pick with an FG42.
Yeah, he's opted to put that sniper away. Oh, it's going to be John. Gunfight with Vortex.
Oh, the nade missed. I thought that nade was going to hit.
That nade goes inside the bunker. GG for Vortex here. Still, though, standing at 4 versus 4. Full control of both bomb sites, of course, in favour of LG. And John's trying to do this with a bar as well.
Armored and conspicuous. Interesting class setup.
faster fire rate.
Oh, he picked Vortex.
Yeah, he did. Taking down Dave. Nathan's taken down John over at the A site, so it leaves Cap in a 1v1.
And all Cap needs to do is just stay alive. Buy time. His teammates know where the other one is. Octane gets a kill on the Hawkeye. Bomb is down. 30 seconds left. This round is done.
Just a game of who picks up that kill, and it's slacked in the end, I believe. Cap just holding down the fort over at A. It was slacked.
Even with too challenging, they just play their life. Make sure if they go weak, they don't ego challenge, which you love to see. And because of that, they win the round. You know, Slack did it there, staying alive at B. JCap did it there, obviously staying alive at the A cabin cover. Brilliant stuff.
Round number 4, LG taking back the lead here. And again, the last time I saw LG play this, they bullied their way through B, and it looks like this is the first offense we're going to see them try that. John, so fast, so aggressive. Slack's found one. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw John maybe use that Semtex. We are going to see a few special grenades come out, and now the bomb is down 4v3, and just the way LG pushed through that was incredible. Obviously, Slack opening up things, and Octane, this is a position you don't want to fight Octane in.
No. This looks like kills will be traded. John will not earn his streaks. 27 seconds left in the round.
Slack helping out Octane once again. Team shooting at its finest. Business as usual for LG there. I'm surprised they haven't pushed B more. We could see, of course, them do that in the later rounds. Nathan, the final to fall. And we're going to see LG just extend their lead by 1.
They're cruising right now. They're absolutely cruising, as you'd expect. Looking like the better overall team. Can't count out this Epsilon squad yet. Let's see them get themselves a first blood. Give them a chance to win some of these rounds.
I'd love to see a first blood for the guys and see how they adapt for it. Very, very hard, though, at the moment. 4 in the hands of LG. Grenades going out. Octane's been smoked. And again, just the way he pushes up to this power position. There goes the first. Will be traded. Cap finds number 2, and that could be number 3. Yes, it is. John coming in with the bar.
And they know
glide bomb.
They know exactly where Dave is.
Not sure the glide bomb was necessary there, but it seems so simple.
Oh, of course it does. When you've got someone like Octane getting you a first blood every round. You played, what, 5 rounds? There's been 5 first bloods for LG. LG is a team that, if they're going to go up 4v3, they're going to close out the rounds more often than not. More often than most teams in the CWL Pro League. And that's why it looks so simple. They just know where to position themselves.
Epsilon came over here. Maybe lack of practice. However, giving it their best shot here. Dave sitting at 6 and 4. But only 1 round under the belt. We're going to see stun grenades for Slack. He's trying to find his way straight through the mid. The smoke's going to clear that avenue. And look how they've just taken control of B. And again, the way Slacked, and I believe it's John here, pushing forward. They're just baiting for each other. And there we go. Dave falls. First blood to LG.
There's a very late flank happening, but even now in middle map, John pushes right in. John with 2. They know where Hawkeye is as well. LG on the verge of being up 5-1.
He's in a very difficult position. John, you could argue, could play for his streaks. Slacked is already on a 6-kill streak, but we're going into what I'm going to say is most probably the last round with the amount of streaks on the table here. LG are storming through Epsilon.
They're going through the works. They're literally just, okay, good, first blood, plant. We might see ourselves a game of Search and Destroy where there's not a single first blood for Epsilon.
That's tough. That's really tough. Streaks now in the hands of LG. I'm interested to see what Slack does with this fighter pilot. Doesn't necessarily need to use it off the bat, but we're going to see smoke stuns as well. For him, he's got that armored armor. That's going to be first blood to LG. Nathan goes down. Vortex as well. A 4v1 leaves Hawkeye all alone. He's taken 1 to the grave at B. John for 60 seconds. Almost just denying the inevitable. And LG,
6 straight rounds. Take it 6-1. 7 rounds played, 7 first bloods. Streaks earned by a couple players there. Slack having a monster series so far.
Yeah, Slack's doing some Born Search and Destroy. And Epsilon, I always get the question, how do they change this around, or what do they... veto process, and honestly, I don't think there's much they can do. They can do all the research in the that they like on a team like LG is performing on the day, and unfortunately LG lead 2-0.
Epsilon are getting stomped in this best of 5 versus Luminosity Gaming here in Division B. LG are one map victory away from starting Division B.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CWL Pro League presented by the PlayStation 4. We have the best Call of Duty teams from around the world competing, and we are so excited to get it underway.
Gentlemen, it is now day 2 of the CWL Pro League Division B coverage. My name is Jack Courage Dunlop, and I'm joined by Momo for this cast, and I am absolutely chuffed for this one, as it's Epsilon going up against LG.
Jack, I'm just proud that you've learned the word chuff definition.
I still don't know, as I'm just going to hope I didn't say something bad on broadcast. One thing that could be bad is the chances for...
But these guys are coming in as potentially, technically the lowest seed in Division B. LG was definitely the top seed, and firstly, last, if you like, Epsilon, they had their struggles, and LG are looking like a world-class team. JCap's going to kick things off, though. Hard point on London Dogs. Let's kick it off.
There we are. On over to John now as he comes off the respawn built by JCap. He's just trying to play through gate as he gets shut down. Nobody in the hard point yet. As I say, that Epsilon do get the first point on the board. As we know, LG, their slaying prowess is big, but they don't rely on just that, Momo, to win. They are kind of a well-balanced team when thinking of rotations and playing around the objective and being, Epsilon! You need help. You need a higher power if you're going to come back in this series. And unfortunately, I don't think they're going to get it here, Momo, up against LG in their match today.
This is very, very difficult. Epsilon playing potentially, in fact, they're playing the hardest game that they can do in Division B. Is coming up against Luminosity Gaming here. 6-1 beaten on Search and Destroy. Map 1, 250 to 151. Honestly, I'm surprised it went on that long. They survived with some streaks. But Epsilon, they're in deep waters here, and it's not looking good. LG, that shark beneath them, ready to finish this one 3-0.
And Lunadoc CTF, very fast paced. A lot of flag pulls typically happen. Communication will be key. I'm sure we'll probably hit some Astro Gaming listen-ins during that one. But so far, Momo, from Epsilon, has there been any positives you can take away from the performance so far here at the CWL Pro League?
Individually, Hawkeye, for me, has continued, again, a great slayer in-game. It's hard to take positives right now when we've seen the two maps that we have done. I think the positive that I saw from Epsilon actually came yesterday. What I would say is you put them up against maybe a Unilad, you put them up against, other teams in their division, and we will see a closer game for sure. But Luminosity, a different beast. Are we going to see a 3-0 sweep? Chat, let us know. Nathan has found a 2-piece, which is enabling Vortex to get straight through.
It's the cap.
And you know what? We saw Epsilon versus CG on this map. Do you remember, Jack? I think it was casting with yourself. They went 2-0 up straight away. Yep. Oh, we're going to see the same.
No, that's a cap almost instantly. The stun from John off spawn, whipped. And once that doesn't hit, the rest of LG recognize, hey, there's no way we're catching them. Time to fall on back. Let's play some defense, clear our base. 45 seconds in, it's Epsilon up 1-0.
Well, it's a perfect start for Epsilon. Vortex 1, 2. Doesn't make the third, but Octane very weak. We're going to be going into fire and maybe cleaned up here. Epsilon are going to respawn with plenty of time now to defend their flag. However, Octane, without the PPSH, he's going to be denied by Nathan as he finds 2 players from LG.
Okay, so a quick little cap for Epsilon. Best thing you can ask for coming into this first game. How do LG respond? It looks like right now they're still struggling to really get out of their base. Has been the weakest slaying performance off the break of a map we've seen up to this point in the series. Slacked, who's been a monster so far. He had, I believe, close to 10 in the Search and Destroy, 30+ in the hard point. And he's currently 3-3, pushing towards middle map. That's just never going to happen, Hockey. That is just, you're going to lose that gunfight every single time you take it. Versus Octane, who has an FG behind cover. Stop randomly jumping, Hockey!
Octane, I'm not sure if he was running the PPSH before, but he's now running the FG for sure. Definitely a preferred weapon for him. John finding his second kill. So I was going to say a couple. Slack now coming in from behind. The next couple of kills could be crucial. Slack's able to pull this flag. One player on the loose. It's Vortex. Let's see what he can do. He goes down, and we're going to see a cap here. Vortex makes the play, makes the return. Just like that, keeps Epsilon riding it and keeps them in the lead.
That, for me, is a misplay from LG.
I just want to point out as well, I was talking about the one thing that Epsilon can take away is the consistent slaying of Hawkey. He only gets his first kill now 2.5 minutes into the game. So, still winning, but again, I'm going to jinx that one.
Well, Hawkey now with his second, as they're waiting for Octane and the teammate to push it. Thankfully, Slack was weak, and he gets a hip fire with Dave's help, too. They stop the flagpole. Good defense up to this point from Epsilon, still up 1-0.
One player just behind Hawkey here. He's going to see him. Dave's going to be punished for that. Maybe the trade comes in here. 2 minutes left on the clock. Key thing for Epsilon now is just try and get some map control. Try and get control of the statue. Define which way you're going to push. Use those specials and the grenades to your advantage. You see stuns now coming out for LG.
Oh, both players one shot, but no cleanup. Slack is so good, man.
Pinpoint accuracy from Slack there takes down Nathan. Now, the flag is in the hands of Slack. He's running around. He's got to find the kill. What on earth was going on there? A bit of confusion as the flag now going through barrels. Doesn't look like anyone able to stop this. We're going to have a tie game.
Streaks. You get 200 points for capturing a flag. And just like that, it's 1-1. And 3 dead again, and they know where Nathan is.
Slack's still on a 4-kill streak right now. Not that he needs it, as Nathan does find 2. And Slack, look at this, still going. You said he was good, Jack. He finds the 6. And you know what? He's going for back-to-back flags. He's only 325 away from overlapping. Oh, this is madness.
Perfect route taken from Slack. Recognizes the pressures coming from lower docks. Knows the final 2 players spawning will go towards topside. They won't have enough time to shoot him in the back. Back-to-back scores in this life alone from Slack.
50 seconds left on the clock. Octane has a big job, though, because 2 players coming from the right-hand side. Finds the first, doesn't find the second flag. Will be pulled, will be dropped here. And that's credit to John. Nice utilization of the stun there. He's going to find himself.
As he stuns himself.
He slows any type of push coming through barrels, though, and I think the important thing for him there was just getting his teammates back alive and back shooting on that position. We're going to see the flamethrower. Slacked has been a different beast today.
Yeah, 12 and 8. 2 caps to his name, even with John falling behind. Even with John at 3 and 10, it's LG who will go to the half with the lead unless there's a miraculous last-second pull from Hawkins. Nope. Not going to happen.
As the time ticks down, we're going to end round 1 at 2-1 in favor of LG. Epsilon must begin day with a 2-0 lead on this map, and they then lost 2 flags immediately after. This time, they only get 1. We see LG bite back almost instantly. And we're going into potentially the last 5 minutes of this series. LG just handling business, Courage.
LG 5 minutes away from starting off their Global Pro League run, a perfect 3-0 in series victories. Slack, can we just go to him for one moment? He does still have those 2 streaks. Nothing else in play for either side. Can be used in kind of those worst-case scenario moments.
Hawkey, long shot onto Cap using the PPSH there. Will be taken down. Octane trading things out here. And again, Epsilon, the problem is right now is what do they choose to do? In CTF, you know, and you can see they're not opting to change things up too much. They're not wanting to run Mountain just because of one streak. You know, they could keep the hold of those streaks for a while. They need to stay aggressive. They need to pull flags, and that's what they're doing. Vortex has it in his hand. Cap trying to stop any type of push, and he will find him. Not going to find the second. That flag's still in danger.
Yeah, but not when Octane's back here with an AR. As they'll get the first, Slack with the second. There's the return. Dave just knew that run was over. He doesn't even try to run for the flag. He just gets a kill middle map. 4 minutes left. LG still with a 1 flag cap lead. We know all it takes is, 1 series of kills in the opposing team's base for a flagpole to go out. That 7.5 second respawn delay, the longest respawn delay we play with across this and hardpoint, obviously. Another thing to keep in mind, Slack has already used one of those streaks used defensively to try to keep his team in it.
That 5 minutes now, just 3.5 minutes, time taken away. The problem is, Epsilon can't afford to lose a flag here. They go 3-1 down, and you can almost call the GGs. Epsilon need to be the one next to pull a flag and to tie this game up. Whether they can or not, different question. Octane controlling the middle, Dave defending well. But again, it's not all about that defense. They need to get some traction here.
Octane in these long-range gunfights, it just seems like the opponent never has a chance. Every time they go to engage him, like, engaging Octane from this is just not going to be a fun time. You're going to have a bad time. That was a Vortex who shreds him as he gets caught throwing an 8.
Camp just waiting to pounce here. Does find the first, not able to get that flag out once again. Interesting to see what Slack does with these streaks as well. Not necessarily needed right now. And now Epsilon, that's the first time in 45 seconds. They've cleared out the base. Now they can make a push and try and get some map control.
Yeah, and LG know that they're about to flood up, so they go to clear out every single lane. You've got, JCap in middle, Octane watching lower docks, John pushing out top side of the map, so they at least know, hey, here's where Dave is. One's in beer. We're looking for the last player, and that's going to be Nathan at back red train. And they've seen him too.
They certainly have. 5 minutes cut in half. We're in the last quarter potentially. The flag has been pulled. That is 4 down for a very split second. Vortex the only one alive. He's nowhere near the flag, and he's not got streaks either. That is a flag home and dry, and with 2 minutes left to go, we're going to see a 2-point lead here in CTF for LG.
Yep, and they still have pressure up the map. I mean, look at Epsilon, Momo. They're just hoping to get a kill in their spawn, and that's never a good sign in CTF on London docks. It's Octane still just controlling beer. You've got JCap looking for the kill on Vortex. That won't happen. Stand a chance there, Nathan. So here they go. Octane with the pull.
Just trying to get that flag out of there, even a little bit closer for his teammate. And his teammate being Slack this time will run into a Hawkey. The flag is going to be picked up again. It's very ambitious from John, but he's got full streaks out of it.
They've still got people here. There you go. With the return from Vortex. Nice job. 90 seconds left. Full streak still in the hands of LG with a 2 cap lead.
Fully streaked out is Luminosity Gaming here. I think they've got 4 in total. They're currently leading in series and in map 2 over their opponent. And of course, best of 5. You only need 3. LG looking to close this one out. A clean sweep for them would put them in a fantastic position here in Division B. Already 2-0 in the series in Division B.
I mean, LG, perfect in hardpoint, perfect in search and destroy. Can you ask for anything better from a team? Obviously, outside of being... No. Okay, how many times... Do we have to cast again?
You asked for that.
That was a stupid question.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. But
if there's anything, I'm going to try and find something. But speaking about LG, it's very hard to find their flaws right now.
God, that was good. Yeah, no, exactly. And for LG, a team that we've seen at times be exceptional in respawns, but really fall behind in S&D, and then they had a great S&D event where they kind of fell down a little bit in the respawns. They're looking quite well-rounded up to this point. 30 seconds left. One final desperation pull coming in maybe from Vortex. They know he's here. JCap going for the challenge. JCap with the kill. That will be GG. LG 3-0 atop Division B by themselves, as they look fantastic up to this point in the CWL Pro League.
Yeah, the streak's not even needed. They are going to be used just for a little bit of fun towards the end, but as the time ticks away, Luminosity Gaming 3-1 in CTF and 3-0 in the series. Another day at the office for Luminosity Gaming. Epsilon, though, back to the drawing board. Try and take something away, look back over the VOD. They've got a long way to go here, Courage.
I like how both bronze stars were Nathan, even though they lose the game, but that's basically the only highlight from that series for Epsilon. They've definitely got in a lot of areas they need to improve on, but everyone, probably including themselves, didn't expect them to really do much in that series versus LG.
Yeah, really tough. Epsilon, current form, current form right now is poor.
It's not April yet, as Dave said. Wait until April.
Dave also said that we only play well on the West Coast. We're in Columbus, Ohio. So maybe if the Pro League was in a different location, you can pull out anything. But I hope Dave still sees the funny side, but Epsilon, I don't think you can see the funny side for much longer. They need to start picking up some series wins. I will say, though, they've had LG and EG, and that EG round 11 game 5 was a tough loss.
And remember, also, yes, last week with Division A, we were saying, Mind Freak has turned around, Vitality turned around. Even with how poorly Mind Freak did in week 1, they end in that 5th place spot. So, Epsilon, keep your head up. We've already seen that if you can turn around, really begin to show up, especially in week 2, you can still get yourself in a reasonable position as you wait to come back for the second half of your first stage here for Division B. But up to this point so far, LG looking fantastic. Analysts taking away to break down the series.
Thanks so much, Jack. And joining me on the desk, we have Chance and Clint.
Yes.
We got Maven here on the desk to break down everything that happened in that series. Now, Chance, before we actually jumped into this one, you said it was going to be pretty hard for Epsilon to come out on top, and we do see the first 3-0 of the day, LG coming out on top.
Yeah, it was a you got to be professional about these things, right? It was a lopsided match in favor of LG. The hard point was incredibly convincing. The search and destroy was also incredibly convincing, and then the CTF was 3-1. So yeah, it's what we expected.
These were two teams fighting for top 3 at Anaheim last year. At least 2 organizations. We're not there anymore.
Yeah. I think losing Josh is obviously going to have an impact for that Epsilon team, especially with the type of player that he is. But let's take a look right now at this hardpoint map in particular. Blazing start for Luminosity, Chance.
Yeah, and just to comment on kind of the Josh replacement. Well, Nathan played well, at least in the respawns. I know his search game wasn't exactly good, but against LG, it's just, I think the situation is LG just the better team. They are one of the best teams in NA, if not the best team in the world. They're certainly going to be a contender for that title, right? And Epsilon, the practice they get in Europe isn't quite as good. Going against a juggernaut like this, Dave's interview, as comedic as it is, and as many times as we reference it, there is a point to it. He's we will get better and we will be good at a certain point. It'll happen. It's just not going to happen yet.
And they picked it up over kind of the second half of this game, but one thing that stood out to me, I was hoping to see it in the replays, but I believe Octane was 30-15 at one point, and then during 2 rotations just died 10+ times in a row, and that's when they started to get back into the swing of things. But yes, I'm not that chance.
I'll be completely honest. When I was watching the hardpoint, at a certain point, there seemed to be a huge switch in Epsilon's play where they started to care less about the objectives and more about actually just racking up kills. That was something that I kind of seemed to notice as we got in those later portions of the game. Can't really blame them there. They got away from it quick, but they definitely did pick it up towards the end, managing to get 150 seconds inside of hills. And then we move over to that S&D. Is there anything in particular, Chance, you want to talk about with that?
There was pretty much nothing fancy that happened the entire time. LG was just we're going to do some basic stuff and we're going to run you over. And it makes perfect sense, right? Just because, if you have 4, incredibly highly skilled players, they can't just run through the opponent. And that's exactly what they did.
Well, when I watched LG versus Unilad yesterday, LG just did whatever they wanted on offense. They went B over and over and over again, just pushed them out. There was nothing Unilad could do to deal with it. It's the same exact thing I saw here with Epsilon. Apparently the EU teams, we haven't seen Splice yet, but they were just running through them. There was nothing they could do. Nothing they changed, worked, Luminosity. It's just, we were sort of joking in the back, but when you're almost better, when you are better at every single position by player, it makes it look pretty easy when you're Luminosity.
I think that was a big thing, and we saw that in map number 2. Taking a look at the top moments from this search and destroy on Ardennes Forest, it's just who in this group is going to compete with them. I think E United is one of those top teams that we have to in a very comfortable position in Division B. And after we see this 3-0 series, that means they still do have that perfect record. And this was the only match.
So what, 9-1 now map count, right? They dropped one yesterday. Yeah, the CTF Unilad, I believe.
They did drop, yeah. They dropped one map so far, but that's a pretty darn good map win percentage. We're going to see all the way 5-1 as we get into round.
So your question is, who's gonna test them?
United Splice.
Yeah, I mean they can, but do you still kind of feel like if LG's on point, like if they're playing at their best, they're the best team here. At least in Division B. Yeah.
Depending on what United does. And even when they get Jerd back, like, Splice might be able to contend as well. Because at Splice's best, if you look back to Dallas, like, they looked like one of the better teams. I think their only 2 series losses were, like, both to TK, who obviously went back-to-back. So, Splice with Jerd, I think definitely can contend, and that'll be interesting to see. And United, again, there's a lot of potential. They've had, like, some mild inconsistencies, but if they have a good series, absolutely United can contend and beat LG.
If I had to take a team right now for second in this division, I would probably pick Splice. Of course, taking into account with Jerd back, I think I would take Splice as my second team, personally.
I haven't seen enough yet. I guess you could just based off yesterday, but I don't know. I need to see more out of Envyus, see if they can keep it up. We haven't seen that much out of FaZe yet, to be honest. We've seen one match from a lot of these teams, so it's hard to tell. I feel like it's easy to prop up Luminosity right now because we've seen 3 series from them. We've seen 1 series from some other teams. And LG hasn't really Division A. We're seeing their mind yet. They've had some easy matchups.
Even with how poorly Mindfreak did in week 1, they end in that 5th place spot. So Epsilon, keep your head up. We've already seen that if you can turn around, really begin to show up, especially in week 2, you can still get yourself in a rebuild position.
Those could be the 3-back teams. So maybe we're putting too much stock in Luminosity, but when you combine the fact they got second at New Orleans.
So far, LG looking
very close second as well. That's about as close as you can get. But let's look at the last map inside of this series going over to that capture. The flag was a story here, Chance.
LG, outside of the first minute, we're just, pretty good. They're doing LG things, right? So the opening break, though, Epsilon did play very, very well. I think it was Vortex got in a nice sneaky spot, picks up 2 kills, and then Nathan was right behind. And again, we talked about Nathan being the new guy in place of Josh, and the respawn, he's been playing very, very well. Like, he's a very solid player.
We were chatting back a little bit, like, Epsilon, the game slows down a bit in CTF, and you don't have to play at a pace like Hardpoint. They seem to have a chance early on, but once this game got scrappier and the pace started to pick up, it just seems like they couldn't hang to me, especially once the streaks got involved in Luminosity as well. But
yeah, I think losing Josh is obviously...
You saw the hard point. They could not go gun on gun with them. And as soon as this got just a little bit faster, it just felt to me like there was nothing they could do to kind of hang. Dave has a decent game, but Octane overall, really a phenomenal series. If it wasn't for the slowing down a little bit in the second half of Game 1, he would have probably been MVP in base favor in that.
Definitely played very well, but we talk about not getting to see every team in quite as much detail as we've seen LG so far. We have plenty more series today, and a few of those teams that we've already hinted at wanting to see more about, well, we're going to get a chance to see them. You talk about Envy and EG. That's a matchup that comes up a little bit later today, so we're going to get to see what both of these teams can do. But FaZe Splice is going to be that next matchup. Talk about wanting to see more from Splice. We're going to get it in the next series.
And it's interesting, right? Because, like, FaZe, their backs are, like, against the wall. Because I think this is a ridiculously tough day for them. I can't remember who their final match is. It's United, actually. Yes, they got United Splice. Those are some heavy hitters. And just for them to falter even against Envy, like, first thing, this could be a week where FaZe goes 0-3. That is obviously the worst start they could possibly have. Now, the expectation against Splice, though, it should be a competitive series, right? Of course, Splice has looked pretty good. Go to Game 5 against United. Obviously, they got the win early today against Unilad, so you don't want to doubt them. But the roster change, it should impact the series, and it's definitely going to help FaZe. The question is how much.
I think what you just said kind of is what's crazy about this, though. There's a very good chance FaZe could start 0-3.
Yeah.
And the fact that's even possible right now inside of this division shows how stacked it truly is. You got to think they can get the split here, but I don't know. I mean, if Splice is as good as they look, and the United, they pushed them to the rope. FaZe, very, very, very... Coming in next week, it's going to get a lot better for them, but still... It's just looking at that 0-3 that I think starts to get in your head a little bit early on.
Oh, definitely. And, Splice is looking really good today. I actually got to watch the last series with Splice. I was talking to them about the previous matchup, was talking to Tommy, and for one of the interesting things was actually hearing Tommy break down that last matchup he was in, talking about how well he really did know Wuskins and Scraps from playing with them, and he was just like, I knew exactly how to bait him at certain moments, and you'd see that come out. Now, obviously, not going to have that advantage when they're playing against FaZe, but the thing that Splice does have going for them is the thing that I think we would say they had going against them, which is Fellow, right? He is a sub, but they're talking about how much they trust in him right now and how well they're starting to gel.
That's true, and it's just Tommy. Like, Tommy's the in-game leader for this team, right? You hear it in the listen-ins. We know he's been a leader throughout most of his career. And when your quote-unquote in-game leader is dropping the numbers he has over the first couple of days, I just feel like it makes it that much easier on your team and that much easier on Felony to kind of fill in. I mean, does Tommy have to put up those numbers right now? Maybe, but it's been impressive to me, man. Some of the game was like a 24-7 game earlier today. He's been absolutely lights out, and really in every game mode, he's been stellar.
And now on your screen is going to be FaZe. Chance, what do they need to do to come out on top as we start to see these vetoes go through?
Well, in terms of vetoes, I think I actually like what Splice has done so far. So they are going to have St. Marie again, but this time Splice picks to play that 4th instead of 2nd, because obviously they're 0-2 on that specific map. Granted, Unilateral was incredibly close. And then Splice also made sure to get rid of Texas, because that's kind of the story that United painted for us of like, Jerd was their sniper on that map. Texas, that is where snipers absolutely reign king. That's going to be a false step for them. So they take out that map. That issue is going to be at least slightly less important for them. So I think overall, give a slight edge to Splice.
And what was the score last night? It was like a 6-1 or
6-1, 6-2, yeah.
Yeah, they got smoked there. So you can't be shocked to see the difference there. And it wasn't even Felony's fault exactly. He had a decent game, but I think more to what you said, not having that sniper there going to be a big deal. So they won't have to worry about Texas and I don't know. I just don't know which way to kind of pick this matchup right now. And again, it's just so early, right?
This is also one of the trickiest ones of the day to call, I think, if you are going to make a prediction, because there are so many factors that you kind of have to take into account that you usually don't. First of all, with Splice having a substitute player. And then also, I feel like both of these teams somewhat had a dip in performance recently, and was it just a bad event? Was it just a bad couple of matches? Or is there a problem that's starting to surface?
Yeah, and even just, for my specific prediction, it's like I base it off of what we've seen so far, but it's been literally one day of play. So, like, we've seen Splices look pretty good, and yes, FaZe look rough, but they look rough in all of one series so far. And, like, at their best, they were top 4, and when they were top 4, it was Splice that got 3rd, and then when FaZe falls off to 8th, well, Splice fell off the top 12. So they've been very closely contested all year. Again, it should be a competitive series.
And I think the other thing to look at when you look at Division B as a whole, when we landed here, before we even saw any of the series play out, I think you look at FaZe Clan, you look at Splice, and you say, okay, these are two teams that are going to be trying to compete for that top 4 slot, and they're going to do it very competitively.
Yeah, for me, it kind of comes down to this. I don't know how it'll change these teams, but there's a lot more pressure on FaZe here, right? Because you get smoked by Envy in a series that you probably felt you should have won. Splice right now, you're like, all right, we got that victory with Felony, and Jerd's all excited. You saw him tweeting them as well. You feel like there's so much more pressure on FaZe. Now, the question is that going to make them perform better coming off that loss? Or are they going to fold under the pressure and Splice is going to... If Splice beats them here, if you're Splice, you are so ecstatic that you're able to get the 2-1 start. Like, you got to be so happy.
That would be massive. Just to the tune of, like, what will FaZe do under the pressure, though? The most pressure they've had is, will they be able to get out of the open bracket all the way back at Dallas? When the pressure was on, they ended up top 4. So they definitely can handle it. This is a veteran roster.
I mean, you could already see, though, the energy on Splice. On the other end of that, they don't seem to be under that much pressure. They're joking around. They had their break. But Felony even said, he was just like, it's insane for me being on this team, the amount of respect that they're giving him. If he calls something out and playing SMD, they're going to do it. But we're going to have to see how both of these teams can do after this short commercial break. When we return, it's going to be FaZe up against Splice. This is so important for both of these teams to try to get that top 4 slot. So don't go anywhere as we keep moving along in the second day of the CWL Pro League for Division B.
welcome to the CWL Pro League presented by the PlayStation 4. We have the best Call of Duty teams from around the world competing, and we are so excited to get it underway.
Gentlemen, it is now day 2 of the CWL Pro League Division B coverage. My name is Jack Courage Dunlop, and I'm joined by Momo for this cast, and I am absolutely chuffed for this one, as it's Epsilon going up against LG.
Jack, I'm just proud that you've learned the word chuff definition. So, what?
I still don't know, as I'm just going to hope I didn't say something bad on broadcast.
You did.
One thing that could be bad is the chances for...
Ball. These guys are coming in as potentially, well, technically the lowest seed in Division B. LG was definitely the top seed, and firstly, last, if you like, Epsilon. They had their struggles, and LG are looking like a world-class team. JCap's going to kick things off, though. Hard point on London Dogs. Let's kick it off.
There we are. On over to John now as he comes off the respawn built by JCap. He's just trying to play through gate as he gets shut down. Nobody in the hard point yet. As I say, that Epsilon do get the first point on the board. As we know, LG, their slaying prowess is big, but they don't rely on just that, Momo, to win. They are kind of a well-balanced team when thinking of rotations. And
they could start off a bit of a nightmare from FaZe. Splice, of course, have already had one series win over UniLab, much to my... prediction disappointment. I thought UniLab might steal that one.
You were the one that took him there?
I tried to be different.
That's right. You're already different. That big red beard. Here we go. FaZe plan Splice. Attach first from the hard point. First kill coming in from replays with the grenade. Priest was trying to hold off mid-street, so they couldn't force in through Cap and Alley. He did just that. That's bot attach. A lot of time here to soak up in the hard point. The question is, can they nade him out of there?
Close up. He's going to be fellow taking down attack. Splice's first point on the board, but Priester and Zuma taking anything away from them. And FaZe Clan again. First game of the day, not really warmed up as much as you say Splice would be, but a hot start here for FaZe to get 24 points. And we're going to see the scrap time go in favour of Splice. Rotations coming in, and Fellow breaks through into Ruins. That's brilliant for Splice.
And I think Fellow having a good game would be big, because we know Splice has lost both the game ones in their series. Felony had a horrific game one yesterday. Bounced back a little bit today with the game one, but still not stellar stuff. They can get a big performance out of him and just get that game one underway, so you don't have to have these series going the distance. I think that could prove critical for them. But after getting blown out on Cave, FaZe now set up in top Ruins, and soak it up even more time here, Momo.
Yeah, Mike Cat's doing a really good job as well. He's not trying to get any points here, but he's on one side, and of course his teammates pushing in from the other. It will create the pinch backs, finding two. Fellow as well, finding the third here. Attacks does answer back here, but the score will be paused for a second there. Splice now getting a couple of points. Number 4 though, when you screen Zuma trying to flank around, not going to happen. Mad Cat's got his number. Splice trying to get some points on the board, much needed points at this point. And we're going to see Splice spawning out for that next rotation onto Bunker. 22 seconds left. We're going to see that rotation coming very shortly.
Yeah, the rest of this time should go to Splice, so they actually are going to take a little bit of a lead here, unless for some reason FaZe try to contest this. I can't imagine that being the play, as they want to be set up for Bunker. Look how push forward Priest is on the top side of the map. That's giving so much information that they're not going to be flooding through cabinets. It's all going to be through mid-map and Bell, but they win the 2 gunfights mid-map. Attach is able to answer back. Priesta has to rotate back. So the 2 players push in. They lose everybody at the back, and now suddenly Splice has the spots.
Yeah, and again, Priester, it wasn't necessarily a bad play pushing up. Unfortunate timing there. Obviously, his teammates go down as he's right up at P1, and unfortunate for them, that flips the spawn. Splice have it now, and they're going to be spawning at Bell. Number 8 is key player. Tommy is going to finally go down, but Replay's contesting here. Not letting Splice get any of these points. We're currently sat 50-50.
Yeah.
A very close game.
And I think you said it right. It wasn't really his fault. He was pushed up getting information. The problem was, his teammates all dropped at the same time. Then he has to hightail it so far back to get to the back of the spawns. Before he's able to get there, Splice already have him. And Splice very quickly back in this game. FaZe has at least done a good job trying to contest here from the front. So they haven't given up a ton of time to Splice. But still, you think if you're FaZe Clan, you should have earned a heck of a lot more time there. I think you just did a little bit of damage to yourself by not losing some key gunfights, or not winning some key gunfights mid-map.
Okay, so going into another rotation here, we're going to be going straight to this mid lane, and Replay's first on your screen. He's going to be the one collecting the points. Replay's currently sat at 7 and 5, with 33 seconds for his teammates. 64 plays 63 right now, and Splice trying to bully their way through. It's going to be Tommy in the hard point, but fellow on your screen, he's going to be watching this flank now. Finds one, and he could do some damage on that bottom side of the map.
Priesta, though, on the other side, continues to win gunfights over by Cabin, so he's going to make it. He's going to make it difficult to rack up time in here. But Mad Cat, as he gets the one Cabin alley and one pushing out of spawn from Bridge, does a good job at least allowing Splice to pick up some time. But typically on this hard point, dead center of the map for the most part, you do not see a whole lot of points going in here. And yeah, both teams getting a little bit to trickle in, but not a whole heck of a lot to show for it here from the East Road.
And again, we may see FaZe just get the scrap points, but we're going to have one rotation done, and it's pretty much neck and neck going into that cave hard point once again. And this is where FaZe took that early lead. And you know what, judging by that minimap, they've got a great spawn set up here. I think they're trying to figure out exactly where Splice are, and now they know.
FaZe did a really good job in Cave the first time through. Zuma is in. And Zuma, not that far off the streaks. We'll see if he can get some added weaponry here to maybe open up this lead a bit more for Splice. As I say that, he gets pushed by two players and will drop. Replays tries to answer back inside the hard point, but a tough position to be inside with the FG.
Hello taking damage there. He's going to jump back on that hard point, still getting those points with 20 seconds left. And that's most definitely a rotation from FaZe. The problem sometimes with rotating so early is now the other three players can push this. And if these Splice players can pick up some kills, as Tommy does, they can not only get the scrap points, they can break through. But it looks like FaZe are holding tight here at the ruins. And you see Priester setting up in mid-U. Zuma dropping back to Bell. Finds one, traded out by Madcat. Splice do take the lead now with around 15 points.
All right, well, here we go. Can they break in through Bell? No. It's Zuma with one with the grenade. Finds a kill with his PPSH as well. But nobody in the hard point at this point, because inside of you is going to be Bance. He's disrupting anything you're trying to do with your FaZe clan. Until they clear him out, it's going to be real tough. Well, they try to clear. That nade was meant for Bance.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Zuma went ahead and pushed him and then caught the grenade from Replays. So not the best sequence of events for FaZe, but you're still here, able to reinforce quickly, and able to at least contest right now.
Big fan of the smoke grenades coming out here, just trying to block off any vision to try and break through that. Madcat finding the double with a PPSH, and Vance finding number 3. Splice, a very, very narrow lead, but they do have, the scrap time. We're going to see Zuma come in, finally pick up a couple of points, and then it's going to be Tommy trying to get some scrap points, but still Attach over there contesting. Necessary, not too sure here, but Splice, they do have this spawn set up now for the bunker.
And keep an eye on that clock. This could be one of those games where the clock comes into play, because both teams kind of approaching the halfway mark as far as getting to the 250. The clock's about the halfway mark as well. If you have another East Road where nobody really racks up any time, this is going to get very interesting.
And even on the bunker, last time we saw a lot of contention coming in.
True.
If we have that kind of standoff play, may come in once again. Replay's having a great game, 19 and 15. Good to see him back on the scoreboard as well. Madcap picking up a double. But again, just back and forth, as no one can really get a solid setup here. The problem is Splice have the spawn, so they should find themselves with the last 20 seconds, and now they can focus on this middle lane.
Splice did a lot better job there at bunker, not letting FaZe contest. They helped them out of the front quite a bit. I mentioned that clock, only about 16 or so seconds went off, so for the most part, they kept the contest away, and were able to rack up some points. That's now a big reason why you're going to see them take a 50-plus point advantage here as we do head over to the East Road. Let's see what Attach can do here as he's wrapping around Ruins. He knows he's going to get pushed from Bell in a moment. Madcat, though, will be the one trying to fight for capping control. Tommy's actually already won that gunfight, so until they clear out the players from Splice, FaZe is going to be very, very difficult to put really any points here.
Love that from Tommy as well. Just dips in the hot points, dips out. He's on a 4-kill streak. I think he's 1 kill away now from those streaks, so he puts himself so close, milking that hard point. The question is, I think Tommy's just going to try and jump in it, jump out.
Perfect.
Milk it.
That was absolutely perfect. Madcat gets the kill. He hops right back in. Now you have some streaks to go ahead and work with here. Tommy will finally end up dropping, but again, not before he was able to pick those up. Madcat's been doing a great job here. He's going to get streaks as well. So that duo you had there by Kevin, just between them juggling and kind of finding kills for each other to get in, you get 2 sets of streaks. That's just fantastic teamwork there for Splice.
Yeah, and a key part of actually winning this mid lane here is keeping full control of Cabin, and that's what Tommy and Bance are doing right now. Not only does it win you the mid lane, it also wins you the spawns for Cave. Splice are starting to run away from this 50-point lead now. They've got 2 sets of streaks, and out. Ironically, you know, they're not outslaying that heavily. You're starting to see Madcap breach away as well as Tommy. But apart from that, it's pretty close.
Oh, yeah. I mean, oh, God. And you don't really need a ton of kills when you're juggling the hard point like that. When, you know, half of your getting the streaks is almost coming in from just the hard point points. But, yes, this is, like you said, Momo, certainly starting to open up. It was very back-and-forth affair. Has now been all spliced for, basically 3 hard points in a row. They've done a ton of damage here. And we mentioned streaks for Tommy and Madcap. Vance is on a 4 streak as well. So we could see a 3rd set of streaks come into play here. And if that's the case, I mean, unless you have everybody in Mountain or some kind of miracle from FaZe, they're going to get smoked over this next hard point or 2.
Yeah, that's the problem. That is the problem. We've got Bance now on a 4-kill streak. I'm not sure how close he is. But let's stay on board with Tommy as he rains down fire from above. It's going to be 2 kills for him. We're going to find Zuma being the 3rd, but now Madcap can make this kill. You're almost pretty confident they'll be able to shut it out. He will find it, but the rest of his team go down. More streaks to be invested? I think so.
Yeah, they're going to keep coming in. Last fighter probably got a couple of kills. This one's able to get 1. Probably would add 2 if he didn't die to an actual grenade. And now you're going to get set up in the hard point. You still have 2 glide bombs to go for either side. And this is the hard point you can win it on. All you have to do is win a couple of one-on-ones and invest these streaks. That should go for the player inside of you. Yep, that'll pick him up. Tommy's got Bell watched.
Yeah, and they should be able to do this. With the streaks that they do have, they had glide bombs, fighter pilots, they should be able to close it out. And honestly, it's tough to watch from FaZe because they played it so close, they lost pretty much the rotation onto Bunker. And Splice just ran away with it there in the mid lane. And apart from that, you've got to say, well played for the streaks. Madcat and Tommy really coming together there.
Yeah, I think there's 2 things that really stuck out for me. You know, after I mentioned the clock, and you talked about how FaZe would contest Bunker really well the first time through. Splice did a really good job holding Bunker that time around. They were able to get in position, push up the front. FaZe wasn't able to contest. That's where the lead started to open up. And then, like you said, where it really exploded was the great stuff between Tommy and Madcat, making sure they got those streaks, and then you knew they were able to close out the game. Not only did they open up the lead significantly there before the streaks were even used, but then once you're rotating to Ruins and Cave and you have all that stuff to work with, FaZe had nothing to combat it. I mean, nothing they could do there.
No.
Unless the streaks were just horrendously used from Splice.
And sometimes you're going to see Splice maybe have, 2 sets of streak and FaZe have 1. It wasn't like that. Splice had it all, FaZe had nothing. FaZe rotated, they gave up Cave, they were like, you can have it, and then went to Ruins, which is completely open. You glide bombs, your fighter pilots, that's where you're going to get punished. And even if they don't make the kills, they push them into, say the nooks and crannies, and then as soon as they come out, there's an FG42 waiting in their face.
You got to feel very good if you're Splice, too, because you started, the first 2 of your series, you started with St. Marie Hardpoint, you lost both of those. This time, Arden Forest, game 1, you're able to take it, so you don't have to fight back. You don't have to try and rip off 3 in a row against Unilad to get the win. You're in control of the series here early for Splice, which has got to feel very nice, because it's the first time in the LAN League they've had that. It's only been 2 days, but it's got to feel good just to get on the right foot here to open a series.
And I think, as well, credit to Splice, I'm sure, it wasn't easy. I'm sure there's probably technicalities going into picking up Fellow as well. But I think they got the best player possible to fit that role of Jerd. He is guaranteed to perform in S&D. He's a great S&D player, but he's now finding his feet in those respawns as well. And for Fellow, you've got to think, what is this to him? He's proven himself. He's kind of getting his name out a little bit more, even though he's a very well-known, renowned Call of Duty player in his own right. But he's proven that he can be in the Pro League. He has the talent to do so.
We knew he did. He was in the Pro League, all of last year. But he actually, I think he tweeted at Glacier. Glacier was talking about the tough, some of the comments about going to Game 5 versus Splice, and Fellow responded saying, it's like people forgot S&D's a game mode. Like, he knows he can be a difference maker there, and so far he absolutely has been. If he has a big game versus FaZe, man, they get a 2-0 edge here. Whew. This is a rough start for FaZe Clan to Division B.
That's my worry. Because I feel like if they lose the S&D, we could see a 3-0 to Splice. They get 3-0s by Splice. They've got another game going up against E United, which isn't a team with a pickup. That's a solid roster in itself. FaZe is this team right from the get-go when they had that game against Envy. That was so crucial. And I think if that maybe went the other way, confidence is key, and they don't manage to pick it up, and this could go from 1, 2, and even 3 losses back to back.
But again, the nice thing is you had one of the tougher schedules to start, right? You know, you haven't played the likes of, a Unilad, an Epsilon, even EG, who struggled a bit yesterday. Like, you had really tough matchups, right? You're going through Envy, Splice, and then E United. God, you get one win here, you at least feel all right. Hope they can work out one, but now trailing the series.
Yeah, we saw how much certain teams turn it around. Obviously in Division A, for me, Division B so stacked. It's incredible to see. Let's see how things kick off. Of course, Zuma. A lot of people say the first blood king, but grenades coming in. Attach being very aggressive, going to find Bance. Exchange his bullets, but no one finding the first kill. I'm actually really looking forward to the search and destroy and seeing how Splice play it with Fellow.
Well, look, I love when Fellow just booked it out there, dove straight to statue, and then everyone's so worried about him. Almost players trying to peek him resulted in a pick for Splice, but just by getting that mid-map control, you push FaZe back, and now they try to make a play, and there you go. The first blood machine, Fellow able to get it. Bance follows up with one as well, and now you've got 2 players of FaZe completely spread across the map. Replay should drop in a second. Priesta, by some miracle, could get a kill and get a plant off, maybe. But right now, you're just hunting for kills in this 1 versus 4.
Is it here? I don't think he's been spotted, otherwise we may sort of see some rotations. There we go.
Ooh. He sent something.
Clean. Again, coming out the blocks, very, very hot. And credit to Fellow. He's not afraid to get stuck in these search and destroys.
Well, I think you saw from a couple POVs there from FaZe when they saw him dive out. They expended 1 grenade to try and kill him. Somebody then tried to peek him from water steps and almost got picked off from the opposite side from Mad Cat, I believe. It's a huge distraction there. And if FaZe would have invested more in trying to kill him, they probably would have lost a couple of players in that. But as it stands, Fellow got that first blood. This time it's going to be Tommy with the first blood as he's able to connect with the snipe before that smoke pops, I believe.
Yeah, and Tommy, obviously, very well known for his stream. We've seen it time and time again. His sniper is pretty special, to say the least. He's already found 1. Madcap, the up-close battle against Zuma, as he will be traded out, but still the numerical advantage. 3-2 in favour of Splice, and that bomb looks like it's going down for Bance, who is already 2-0. Keep that into account, because working towards those streaks so important.
Turn this into a 2v2. Tommy top mid. Fellow inside of A. Big gunfight there. Fellow got first bullet, then Priesta lines him up. Tommy at least able to trade it out. You've now got 25 seconds. Attach knows his position. And Tommy just comes flying out. I don't know if that's just a good patience by Attach or a little bit of over-aggression from
I think Tommy may have worried there. He may have got the first kill and thought he could be inside, and he may have straight away.
Just good patience from Attach. And yeah, you're right. He just had to think maybe he was sticking it there. Has to try and sort. He probably got the call. Somebody in the team was probably, he's on it, he's on it.
Well, my first instinct when I saw Attach see his teammate go down, I was like, just run in and defuse. And Tommy was probably thinking, hang on, he's defusing, but no, Attach, nerves of steel there, picks up round number 1 for FaZe as it's all tied up. 90 seconds back on the clock. And again, we're going to see Tommy push through the mid. My goodness, that's some damage.
Good patience from Attach does pay off. Attach there. This time it's him getting the first blood. 3v2 advantage for FaZe. Vance now trying to get into fire steps. B site has been taken over by FaZe Clan. Mad Cat and Vance have to work together here to play in a down situation where the bomb has been planted for FaZe.
Key next gunfight here. If Vance can engage and pick the gunfight up, he will find the player, but Zuma will find the kill, and now Mad Cat in a 1v3 and defuse.
Attach 4 streak in the bomb plant. That's picked him up some streaks. He might find another kill here as Attach heating up. He clutches in the previous round in the 1v1, and now has a monster round here behind a couple of kills in the bomb plant. Things looking good for FaZe all of a sudden.
Yeah, and that 1v1 against Tommy now showing how important it is. Picking up not only another round, but also the streaks as well. You see Fellow communicating. Maybe just saying what he's doing. He's been successful so far, just pushing mid and rushing, but last round didn't work out for him. Attach, though, on the other hand, he can pick up the pace here. 5-1 already.
Zuma just soaring across mid, able to pick up Tommy. Bomb's trying to transition back here. They have to worry about Zuma, who's in a strong position here to at least play disruptor, but you can see how far up Fellow's been able to push on that B site. You don't really have a presence there much at all, except from mid. Attach is going to wrap back and try to pick that up. He's only 50 off the artillery as well. Did Fellow spot him? Yes.
I think he has now. I think a nade's coming off the wall in a second. Ricochet. Not going to connect.
Attach backs it up. It does allow Felony to get into a strong spot here at the box. They could really push him out with multiple players, though, right now. They're actually just going to call on the streaks. Doesn't connect with anything. They thought Felony was there, so they don't realize Felony's pushed all the way through now. He's got Mountain on.
Yeah, Mountain.
And he gets the kill.
Oh,
He gets one kill.
goodness.
Attach tries to challenge. Great play from Felony here, but they still have to get the bomb planted. It's going to be 2 versus 2. Just under 30 seconds. Nice shots there from Fellow. They should know the remaining player is at the B site, so this should be just a quick transition over from Vance and a quick plant.
The bomb's going to be going down shortly. They've got the time to do so with 15 seconds. So we're going to extend that to 45. The question is, will Zuma be spotted? Yes, he will, and he's going to be Fellow. A 1v1 now as Bance, full health, will be up against Zuma, who is on a 5 streak himself, and taken down a 50-50 which way he pushes. And this time it goes in favour of Splice. But credit where credit's due. Fellow, for me, won them that round.
That looks so funny in the x-ray because you get the bomb in his hand all the way out to here. You throw it at him? No, but he able to hit the shots and win the one-on-one. We've had a couple crazy finishes to these rounds.
Still, streaks are available. That's the fighter pilot from Attach. Replays yet to get off the mark. Let's see what Tommy can do with that sniper. It doesn't look like anyone's pushing it. They've learned the lesson, and Attach will take down Bance now.
Tommy is trying to trade out this pick onto Attach. He saw his head for just a moment. I think he spotted him again. The replays has his number. Nice shots there with the FG. Splice down a very bad spot. Felony, though, snapping. I was going to say maybe gives him and Mad Cat a chance, but as Mad Cat drops, it's now Felony by himself. He'd have to work the ace here. Attach still has the fighter pilot. Not going to need it in this round. But Felony, he's done crazier things. My God, that would have been disgusting and really given him a chance in the round.
I think Felony pre-fired that, just expecting it.
Oh, he certainly did.
And she's going to see it here, jumping around the corner, but Zuma, the FG-42, too strong at that range. Another round for FaZe, again, still got the streaks in the back pocket. Splice, for the first time here, behind.
All right, look at the carry right now on the side of FaZe Clan. It's the Attach and Zuma show right now. He's able 13 of their 15 kills. Trying to spray through the smoke. It's a hit marker, but that's going to be about it. Into the site will be Splice, but not before Zuma gets a kill. Bance, though, with the wall ping there, at least able to trade it out now. Replays. Once they hit the flame quickly, they're not going to be ready for this. He hits it. They may not be ready for this. It's going to depend on the timing. Just look at that number 8. It's all going to be on Bance.
Mad Cat is right at the back of the map. He is nowhere to be seen. It's basically a 3v2 near the bomb side. And Bance going to be taken as well from the side. Mad Cat needs to step it up a gear. All 2, as we have got one player on the bomb. Literally on the bomb is Tommy.
Well, typically, if you're the guy watching the flank, you're more in a position like this so you can watch that cross, right? So they can't just get picked like that.
And Tommy knows, a great play from Tommy. He knows he has to push one lane. He can't get pinched. So he's going to have to push one of these out. He finds the kill, and now he knows exactly where the other player is going to be because the pinch will have come in. He should have the time. He's got the positioning. Oh! But Priester predicts Tommy's play. Fantastic play. Tommy, I don't think could have done any better.
Oh, that is the speed of the FG. My God. He peaked it, was ready to dip. I mean, maybe he could have bailed a little bit quicker there, but I think he's just like, holy hell, I just got evaporated.
Yeah, and of course, for Tommy there, I mean, the intentions were right. Peek the bomb, see if he's on it, and he was. Priester with a nade over the top. Does connect, and that's going to be onto Fellow. Nearly gets the trade in, and that grenade should take down Fellow. No, with a hunker. Still coming in.
Now, I thought he was going to toss a grenade. That one might have finished him, but now it's going to be too late. He's probably got his health back.
I think every grenade's been tossed at Fellow right now.
Finally, he does get picked off, though, and this is another great round from FaZe, who are looking to take a 5-2 advantage. Mad Cat's position now giving up. He's by himself in a 1 versus 4. Momentarily here.
Odd choice for Priester to push out there and try and challenge, maybe looking to get the streaks. I'm not sure what he was trying there. Could have stayed behind the bomb site, but either way, FaZe pick up the round. Great stuff. And this is looking strong for FaZe to take a map off Splice here. And this was a series where we did have a split decision between, you know, talent guys at home, predictions across the board. Some people really getting behind FaZe, and you can see why.
See if Tommy can add another first blood here. But look at this stack towards the water side from FaZe on defense. They pushed. They thought there was going to be a lot of pressure towards the A site like we saw from Splice last time around. They flood 3 players out there, realized nothing's up.
Oh, Tommy's in trouble.
Tommy's in a whole world of trouble. He's going to get pushed out. No one that can look over him there.
The trade comes in, but alternatively, another trade comes in. That's from Zuma. FaZe looking to finish this off, but Madcap finds one. Will get taken down now. 1v2, and that is another round here for FaZe. And again, the search and destroy is going to end right there. We're going to go to a CTF all tied up. Very impressive map by FaZe.
Yeah, it certainly was. Back and forth early, and then FaZe just completely took over there. You can see just a little bit of frustration, but again, still trying to work out the kinks when you've gotta fill in. But FaZe doing what they needed to, because yeah, you feel like that's a must-win series in a way for FaZe, and a must-win map certainly in this best of 5. Because they're able to answer back.
I do wonder what it's like for Felony to, you know, just team with 3, be thrown.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CWL Pro League presented by the PlayStation 4. We have the best Call of Duty teams from around the world competing, and we are so excited to get it underway.
Gentlemen, it is now day 2 of the CWL Pro League Division B coverage. My name is Jack Courage Dunlop, and I'm joined by Momo for this cast, and I am absolutely chuffed for this one, as it's Epsilon going up against LG.
Jack, I'm just proud that you've learned the word chuff definition. So, what?
I still don't know, as I'm just going to hope I didn't say something bad on broadcast.
You did.
One thing that could be bad is the chances for...
But these guys are coming in as potentially, and well, technically the lowest seed in Division B. LG was definitely the top seed, and firstly, last, if you like, Epsilon. They had their struggles, and LG are looking like a world-class team. JCat's going to kick things off, though. Hard point on London Dogs. Let's kick it off.
There we are. On over to John now as he comes off the respawn built by JCat. He's just trying to play through gate as he gets shut down. Nobody in the hard point yet. As I say, that Epsilon do get the first point on the board. As we know, LG, their slaying prowess is big, but they don't rely on just that, Momo, to win. They are kind of a well-balanced team when thinking of rotations and playing around the objective and being, selfless when it comes down to getting into the hard point when the team needs it most.
Yeah, and don't forget we've already seen LG play this game yesterday. I think you were on board to put EG in the 50-point club. I think that was broken, but nevertheless, Hawkey.
had a list of national circuit players because that's the only sort of player pool we can sort of pick from. We didn't want to get a European, and we felt that there are far better NA players that we could just push straight in. And we went for a like-to-like sort of player. I mean, Fellow's an aggressive sub. That's what Jared does. They may not play identical, but it's the same sort of role. We just need that pure aggression. Fellow brings that. I'd say Jared's irreplaceable. No matter who you get would never match up to what he could do for our team. We're not expecting someone to come in and perform far better than Jared could. It's one of them ones where no matter who you get, they're always going to be, in our minds, a lesser player than Jared. We just got to treat him the same.
I'm still confident going into this event. We've got the Slay and the capabilities, just making sure he's on that same pace, that same wavelength as all of us. And I think we'll do fine.
Well, you hear about Felony, the addition there from the Splice guys, and they feel confident, man. They know they have the firepower to get victories, I think, regardless of who fills in. But they think highly of Felony. They think he fits into this squad nicely. And right now, they're tied up at 1-1. And another victory, man. If they can win this series, you just feel so good for Splice. But the opposite, really, for FaZe Clan.
Yeah, and I think, like they said about Jared, and credit to him, he is irreplaceable. You can't pick any player up and think, he can play at the same style as Jared. But Fellow is giving it his all. He's giving that S&D kind of spin on things. But they lose out. Search and Destroy. We're tied 1-1, of course. That was on London Docks. We're going to be going into the CTF. And, of course, FaZe, the start of the year, they were so strong at CTF. Going from Dallas, then New Orleans. I wasn't there, but it kind of all collapsed for them. I think, a negative win-to-loss ratio on CTF. Let's see how they start things off here as we return to London Docks.
And we've had just some crazy starts to London Docks. I feel like in the opening 60 seconds, there's usually a score of some sort. Whoever's able to go in here and get kind of 2 down immediately just seems to... a little bit long range there, Tommy, but... Zuma not able to finish it. Will ultimately get gunned, but this actually appears to be one of those games that may not open with a very quick score. Is some slow-paced openings. Let's see who can get the edge here early as Teresa tries to play top middle, but Felony now pushing up the map. He's got a one-on-one there with Zuma.
Good start from Fellow. As into Zuma, even more so.
How many shots he's got to put in Zuma right now?
I like this from Bance, because what he can do now is just play it slow. It's all about the kill feed. As a player like Bance right now, he's watching that kill feed and just seeing if his teammates can pick up kills.
Well, Bance in behind. Let's see how he opts to play this one. Just wait here very sneakily because they're getting pushed on the other end. I'll tell you what, we're about to have a crazy sequence of events. It was FaZe who just fired back to tie this series up at 1-1. They're very close to getting a touch here. Let's toss it to a FaZe listener.
Pull it. Yeah, pull it. Yo, watch the cut. Watch middle cut.
Yeah, I don't see it.
I'm coming back.
Back up, Envyus. Back up.
I got middle.
Look at Coley. That's one right. They're definitely left.
Alright, I'm watching on the
It could be underground. Yeah, press pick up Cole.
Yeah,
I'm on call. I'm on your water step, Tommy.
I got one. No, back quick. Back head. Yo, Cole. Dance one guy, Cole. He's pushing.
Ooh, for Christ's sake, Dave.
Tommy, back head.
Matt was in fire.
Alright, back head was in fire. I'll pick up Cole. Alright, big kills here, but let's get it. Yeah, fire, weak, back head, AR. He's just holding it. Let's go. He's coming back to fire.
Yeah, I was one shot.
No.
Let's do that. Believe we're Tommy Bance.
I just went underground. I think it might be docked. I don't know where we're at. Hold it 10, I don't see 10. Yeah, what's the fire? He pushed out, Vance. He pushed out
I'll go behind one here.
He's middle statue. Come here. Yo, that was him. That's two.
Two.
One's gonna be in fire.
Push to the beer in the middle.
Yep.
Are we in fire control?
I don't see fire yet. Nah.
Go middle.
Hey, that's three. I threw it on the ramp. I'm going crane here. I don't see fire. On the base. I'm pulling. I have crane. Yo, water. I got that guy. He's chasing that dog. They're gonna try to middle.
Son.
I agree back. Middle cut. Yo, crane right now. He's chasing water. Crane.
No, tell me, it's Vance Docks. Vance is Docks. Yeah, just stay middle, guys. Get kills for us.
Get kills here. Let's go.
Vance gonna be water steps for 10.
Train.
2-0 edge for FaZe. The calm seam on point. What'd you like about that, Memo?
Honestly, I just like the way they were tracking things. They were saying individual names. They were saying where and when. Just communicating very well, whether it's just telling a team player to fall back, watch a certain area. It's on point for FaZe right now. And I'm glad we got to jump on board with them at that given time. They seem to be running away with it. And another 4 down position. So return from replays, and they're going to go again.
Now they're starting to push up. One-on-one here. Bance got into a position before Attach was ready for him. And Bance just melts too here as he's trying to push out of fire. Knows he has one more mid-cut. Forces him right into Tommy. And just like that, from 4 down for Splice, they're about to put maybe FaZe Clan on their back foot. Bance just soaring forward. Tommy inside. Tommy does catch one. Maybe trade it out, but they actually couldn't trade it very quickly. This might allow Bance to get into a nice spot here.
Bance does have Fellow with him as well, but he's revealed his location. Fellow goes down, and now Bance in a world of trouble. Can he find the second? Yes, he can. And there is only one player alive right now, and that's Priestry's middle map. Backtracking 2 barrels, but I think this is a wise play from Bance. He's on streaks. He doesn't want to go for a risky play. If he can get streaks here, this can change the game. Maybe put himself in a favorable position. Currently 2-0 down. 1-1 in the series, of course. And this is Bance's chance.
He's so close to these streaks. You know, Mad Cat's here. He wants to go cover Mad Cat if he can. Can't win the gunfight, though, and Mad Cat doesn't get away. That's just a tough spot. I think he needed to be in a better position to cover Mad Cat when he first peeked out, maybe to try and help him a little bit there with one of those gunfights. But also trying to play for the streaks, right?
Really difficult here for Splice. 35 seconds left. I think FaZe will just be happy going into this at the half with a 2-0 lead. And it doesn't look like it's changing here. Tommy finding a nice double in fire there as we're going to see Attach push forward. That flag didn't get returned, so maybe he can get away with this. Not going to happen.
Yeah, Attachment had to win two crazy fights there. Really a 1-2 in the back to maybe get a touch. This should be it. Unless Felony can somehow kill the entire FaZe side coming off a spawn. That's not going to happen either. Like you said, should be a 2-0 half here for FaZe. And let's take a look at the scoreboard. Anything that really stands out there. It looked like everyone was sitting kind of around even. Like no one having kind of a monster game or taking over. Just a pretty balanced effort from both sides. Just obviously a little bit of an edge here to FaZe as they're going to enjoy a 2-0 advantage. I don't think they got any streaks throughout that though. We can check when we get into it.
I don't think there's any streaks. If there are, we will double check here. But CTF so far so good for FaZe. And this is kind of giving us almost flashbacks of that Dallas performance. We actually see replays in Zuma, -1 and -2. But Priester and Attach, a couple positive. Like you said, nothing crazy here. It's just the situational plays.
And nothing really standing out too much. A couple kill advantage for FaZe, but I think it's mostly probably where they're finding these kills is going to be the big difference. Bance, can he take over though? As I say that, he's on the receiving end of Attach. Attach does get a couple of kills before ultimately falling. And now we're going to basically restart here.
The reality is here, FaZe don't need to be super aggressive. They can wait almost till they get 2 down, 3 down, and then they can start to push into barrels around the back through Cole. A very defensive setup here. However, Splice looking to punish, and now number 5 is Bance. He's going to be pushing forward. He has the support of Fellow. Stun grenades coming in.
If he knew that stun was going to hit, Bance probably could have got in and grabbed the flag. But that stun completely slowed down Zoom. You don't have anybody with armored here. Nothing they could have done, and now things starting to fall apart. I don't know if that stun was from Mad Cat down from water, or sorry, Mad Cat to mid. Whoever was down at water was that Fellow maybe that could have got the stun in. But they do get it out. Patience pays off. They wait for 2 more teammates here, and this is absolutely going to be a score. You've got no streaks to work with that we've seen from FaZe, and just like that, Splice right back into things.
Yeah, and we saw obviously FaZe get 2 flags in succession pretty quickly here. And that's what can happen. If you get control of fire, you can really pin back the opposing team, and Splice a great job. However, 4 down now, and FaZe will form an attack of their own. Tommy's the first one up, and trying to get that grenade off as soon as possible. This is difficult, especially with PPSH. Those long-range gunfights.
You can see everyone from FaZe was sort of waiting for a moment. They waited for those grenades to be tossed off a spawn, and then they started to push in and collapse. Tommy by himself, nothing he can do at all. Flag is out, and as quickly as Splice answered, or as quickly as they scored, FaZe have answered.
Yeah. Replay still locking things down here. 2 more kills as he does go down to Madcat.
But that was really impressive from FaZe. They got the 4 down, and they didn't just fly in, right? You just saw them kind of wait right outside the perimeter where those nades were going to come into Beer and into lower docks. And as soon as they started to get tossed out, just collapsed. Impressive stuff from FaZe.
2-flag lead right now, only 2.5 minutes before we will pull this game. And again, the kill feed, all red. Will Priest be able to get in and out? It looks like he's going for it. The spawns are going to come in very soon, and just as he does, he's away in barrels. 3 players from Splice spawn up. It is only number 7 he really needs to worry about, and that's Madcat, and he's down. The nade does come in to pause that flag right in the middle of statue, but look at Zoomer and attach. A clean wipeout, and we're going to see FaZe with number 4.
Yeah. There was one player from Splice that could maybe make a play. Unfortunately for him, there were 3 from FaZe that stacked around kind of mid-docks, mid-statue, and mid-cut. Just nothing they can do, and now, yeah, finally some streaks to work with here from FaZe, and now we're seeing glimmers of that FaZe team that dominated CTF in Dallas.
Yeah, 5-1 this will be. 4 down, another maybe 2 seconds, and there we go. A couple of players spawned up for Splice, and with the time that you've got left here, the streaks that are in play, this is a map that Splice need to forget about here. This is not what you expect, and Splice now fighting from their own base.
They've been fighting from their own base for a couple of minutes now. This has been tough to watch. This FaZe completely took over. It's right after Splice got that score, it's been all FaZe since. Just right back to what we saw in the first half, if not worse, to be honest. But yeah, Madcat, when you're playing out of that back room, it's not a good situation.
Glide bombs coming in, score streaks galore here. Not necessarily needed at this point, but with 60 seconds left on the clock, Splice trying to get maybe a consolation flag here. Bance has it in his hands. 2 of his teammates are going to go down. And he himself will just leave Tommy in a 1v1. Is he going to challenge the flag? I think at this point you kind of have to.
Yeah, might as well.
Oh. And that just kind of summarizes Splice's CTF right there.
Some more streaks in. Fellow might have a chance to get the return. He actually does make the play. Not that it matters a whole lot. But he does have a nice play there, side of fire to get a return and a couple of kills.
And all for this, all these last kind of 60, 90 seconds here for FaZe, it is just that confidence boost going into that next respawn. It's a huge series for them. They've of course got a United left to end the night. We've got a series in between that, but right now FaZe, they're going to end CTF with a 5-1 victory, a dominating performance, and they're going to be 2-1 up in the series. A lot of people will be shocked at this result, Maven.
Yeah, at the same time, it's I think it was Joe that was saying yesterday, if you have a guy come in and fill in like this, it's maybe a little bit easier to kind of slot in hard point, a little bit more difficult when you talk about search and destroy and CTF. Yeah. And I mean, that's at least been the story of this series a little bit. It's been all FaZe. They've dominated these 2 games after the game 1 loss. And now they've taken an advantage here. Splice will have to talk through things, see what they can do in game 4 to maybe try and push it to a game 5. At least you got 1 victory today, but God, again, a 2-0 day for Splice. George just be at home with a smile on his face.
Would be perfect for them. Saw on social media, Judge congratulating the boys on their first victory. Right now, maybe having mixed feelings.
I even saw Parasite congratulating Felony on it, kind of helping them get the victory. So a lot of love going around in the Call of Duty Twitterverse. But as it stands, FaZe 1 map away from taking the series, and again, they do have another one tonight against the United. So yeah, if you can get a little bit of confidence here, get a victory, it certainly would prove big. And again, this is a Splice team that they already got 1 win. They pushed the United the distance to a game 5. So don't think they're out of this at all. I mean, it certainly still could go to a 5th game. I wouldn't be shocked whatsoever.
No, I wouldn't be shocked to see a game 5. The respawn kind of specialist, if you like. Just the slaying power is what I'm more edging towards of Splice. Is very, very scary, and Felony, can add to that as well. Sometimes I will say FaZe, they sometimes lack that slaying in hardpoint. They're a very strategical team, and don't get me wrong, they can put numbers up, but if one player on FaZe has a bad game, it can really affect them. Will Splice obviously find themselves in that game 5? It's coming up very, very soon. I'm trying to think what the map was on the hard point. But we'll be reminded of that very, very shortly. St. Marie de Mont is the map coming up. So just kind of casting my mind back. St. Marie was the map where Splice narrowly missed out to Unilad in a 250 to 247. I think there'll be a little bit maybe strategy, maybe talked about that.
The close one with the United as well. I was mentioning they started off with St. Marie in game 1, both their other series. They lost both of those. So they're 0-2 in St. Marie. You got to think, though, they played it quite a bit to kick off these first couple of days, so maybe they're going to improve. Felony specifically has been very hit or miss there. They're going to need him to have a strong game. Also, I'm wondering if Tommy's going to get the better replays here. The main AR is going to be a focal point of this one as well, as you'll see 3 subs out a lot of times. And with the way Tommy's been playing versus what I've seen from replays thus far, I got to give Tommy the edge there, but will it be enough? Splice is looking at potentially a third very close game on St. Marie.
Yeah, and even a victory here pushes it to that final game 5, and not a position you want to be in if you Splice. For FaZe, though, they could have a very, very big win here against Splice. Let's get into potentially what may be the last map of the series. If FaZe can take this one, they'll clean it out with a 3-1 victory. Well, let's jump on board and stick with Fellow to start this one out. He's using the PPSH, Hunker, and Airborne, so he's more than likely going to be the one first in that hill.
Do you remember what the game 1 hardpoint was for FaZe Envy? I'm trying to think if it was it St. Marie?
That's way too long.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to remember what it was. Both these teams might be looking for their first win here on this particular map. But as it is now, Tommy and Courtyard, that's going to be a tough gunfight against PPSH. Felony trying to wreak havoc from up top. He will be traded out, but the trades go back and forth. They're on the stairwell. You had 4 different players kind of swarming into that area. And now Tommy and team are picking up points. They've got the top spawn still. And anything you can do from this top spawn to just contest or pick up really whatever time you can in Restaurant will prove crucial. Certainly the more difficult spot to fight from. Now, can we hop to number 4? Thank you. Perfect timing as Priesta is starting to push his way through ammo and make a play around the back. But look at that number 8, number 5. That's going to be Vance and Madcat. They're transitioning over to deal with it. They are more than ready for the pressure Priesta was trying to apply.
Yeah, I think Madcat will have been taken down to a very slither of health there. Will be finished off by Zuma. And don't forget, Zuma's on a 6-kill streak here at the moment. Attach yet to find his first kill. But another kill will find Zuma so close to that third and final streak. He's going for Madcat and already got the better of him once. There we go, straight through the door. We're going to see, oh my goodness, Zuma is on fire.
Tommy. I can't call him Tommy in this one because we got Tommy the other side. Zuma in this one. 9-3 to start it off. What a hell of a performance to kick it off. We got a very, very tight game right now. We'll be spliced inside the hard point, but replays. Trying to find the pick. We'll get the call. He's in the right corner, able to come out and snap. He's being pushed from both sides, get those kills. Will be picked off the barrel, though. To reinforce that, though, Attach is here. He's got Zuma to work with. And now they want to call out streaks immediately here, but you got to get your teammates forward then. That replays and Priesta got to hit the bat very, very quickly. Where's this? Look at that. Perfectly done. The spawn comes at the top right. They're able to get the mid-map. And now if you can win these gunfights in mid-street, your influence is huge. You're off to the races right now against Splice coming in from that B-bomb site.
Yeah, you can see that they're investing a lot here. They want to get some momentum going into this. I'm going to be completely honest. As soon as that streak came in, I was like, my jaw hit the floor. I was like, why are they calling it in here? I can see what they were trying to do. If it's picked up another one on rotation, they could have flipped the spawns completely. It doesn't work out for now.
Yeah.
However, you look at that mini-map and a couple of kills go either way here, and this could work out for FaZe.
Yeah, but I mean, like you said, it could have worked out way better. It looked good off the first couple of spawn outs they had, but then you got to win those gunfights with the final 2 players, and that's what doesn't happen. Priesta, good job trying to stay alive for a moment there behind the pillar. It will at least give replays time to trade it out, but unfortunately for them, Madcat set up camp here inside the hard point. He's got 4 kills in a row, and he's getting very close to some streaks for his side, and they've blown the lead up here. Splice coming to play with some passion, some vengeance here in Game 4 as they want to push this to a 5th and final map.
Yeah, I love kind of just watching that number 7 fellow. Obviously, the pick up with the team, he's just roaming around, just doing his own thing, and he's picking up kills and, an influence to the squad. Bance now bringing in his streaks, and he's going to regain control.
And Madcat didn't get the streaks. So he did get the streaks. That's a big deal there, but he is hitting around the back, and he's found one at least with the pistol, but won't be able to finish it up. This artillery from FaZe making it very difficult for Splice to put any pressure, at least towards the hard point. That split push they had has fallen apart when Madcat dropped, and now it's just spawns on either side trying to fight their way through. Zuma tried to hit in by Stables, but will get cut down, and Splice, I think, as long as they pick up Attach, should be able to get the final 20 seconds here and open up this lead to 70 or so points, Momo.
And 20 seconds here is actually really, really big, because FaZe can't really contest it.
Ooh,
in fact, they are
will they? Okay.
He's going to push through, and he'll now get the last 10 seconds. And the good thing for him, Priesta is up top already in the new hard point, back to Restaurant. And interesting here, Zuma, he's opted to get off that hard point. I don't know if he's working towards his streaks here. He seems to be playing that Roman role. Oh, look at that knowledge.
He hear him. We're going to call out.
Got to be a call out.
Regardless, he does make the play, and now he's very close to streaks here, Momo. Can he pick them up? He's got one player above him in top red. A couple opting to push in the courtyard, and a fellow just comes soaring into it. Did he get both there, the fighter and the glide bomb?
I think he just got the one.
Okay.
Fighter pilot, so crucial. And we're going to see the flamethrower come in close quarters here, and this is a perfect position to use it. He's going to find maybe the second. Can he find the third? It'd almost be a little bit silly for Priester to challenge, but he does so very, very aggressively, and it works out for FaZe. You look at that score, though, Maven. 124, plays 70. Splice having that lead, and Bance with the streaks.
Last time it was Splice that had these set up here at Winery, but FaZe did a decent job of at least continuing to hold the top right spawn and applying pressure, and contesting a decent amount. Can they get the full break, though, and spawn out Splice to actually rack up a lot of time is the question here. Zuma, first one in, can't snap on a Bance. He's ready and waiting in the corner. He dips into Granny, so Attach can't trade that out either. Bance and Fellow doing a superb job in the back. Fellow with play after play there. It's him and Bance. They both get 2 kills, clear out all of FaZe, and this is going to be a big lead opening up for Splice again.
Yeah, 35 seconds and streaks, and they may even be able to contest this. I was going to say if someone breaks through, but they're all rotating back to the hard point. With 30 seconds here, you can get a 100-point lead with all those streaks. I don't blame them at all. We are going to see rotations come in very, very shortly, but it is Bance, currently 21 and 13. 34 engagements here. Fantastic stuff from Bance already. I am looking at that mini-map, though, with 12 seconds left to go. And the reason that Splice are still challenging this now is they're going to get that last 10. They do have a lot of streaks, and the problem is Attach right now. They take down him, they can get in a position and streak it. Wait for their team. All get roughly around that kind of restaurant area. Here we go.
Streak going to be coming in. And that duel I was talking about, the AR, sorry, I meant Mad Cat and replays was going to be crucial. Neither of them have really been taken over. It's been the sub. It's been Zuma and Bance that have really been trying. They actually have identical stats right now. Almost identical in the hard point as well. But Zuma, he's got 3 kills in a row. We'll see if he can actually pick up those streaks to work with it. Replays trying to sneak in the backside, trying to win a gunfight for his Bance, gets him tagged up and at least picks up the assist there. And now FaZe with control. Well, as I say that, the final person in the hard point, I believe, died to a grenade. It's actually going to be scrap time going to Splice, it looks like.
And FaZe anticipated that Splice would rotate, and they didn't. They pushed it once again. And now you look at the rotation towards that lookout post, and there's no one really there. Attach is waiting. Priest is on a 3-kill streak as well. He's going to be shut down, so no streaks in the hands of Priest. They've got a 60-point lead now for Splice, and in all honesty, I think most streaks have actually been used.
You know, you have a lot left to work with outside the flamethrower. 2 players hitting in through mid. 4 down. That's everybody wiping from Splice, and now you can get a nice setup working. They're going to get the call out quickly that everyone's pushing towards Priesta. Zuma should transition over to help and allow replays to then pick up the hard point. That's exactly what they do. Priesta doing everything he can with 2 big ones. Unfortunately, the players that transfer over then to help him out, everybody drops. Priesta's the only one that I think found a kill in that position.
Yeah, Priesta actually did a great job there just to kind of stay alive and actually pick up that second kill, but it was Bance to pick up the double here at the lookout post. Mad Cat's going to go down as he's Bance and Fellow, and FaZe now will get the scrap time of 14 seconds here, and we're going to go back to the restaurant.
And they're in red already, yep. They're set up in restaurant.
This isn't bad for FaZe. They may be 60 points down, but they've got a great setup, and these kills coming in, if they can capitalize on it, get some streaks, this could be bad news for Splice. Uh-oh.
Yeah, FaZe really starting to heat up here. And very close to streaks, but caught out mid-street. Not a whole lot you can do there, but this has been a flawless hold thus far. How much time can they rack up? The player actually bottom died, so it's attached to patrolling, but nobody's actually pushing out into that tower area. Vance still has that flamethrower, which has been a difference maker as well.
Replays is actually looking on flick at the spawns here. If he finds this kill, which you may be seeing them go to Mad Cat, does connect, will find the kill. And as well, those players going down. Splice do still have the spawn, but this scrap time could very well go to either team.
Felony clears out everybody there, but it's still time for FaZe. He gets to the top window. I think he's thinking more about the streaks than he is the time right now. And do they realize he's up there is the question. I mean, is he going to be able to find some? Okay, now they definitely do. He did get one more, though. He did get one more.
He's one away. It wouldn't surprise me now if he backs off through ammo and just plays his life and tries to pick up one on the flank. And could he be spotted?
That's all right. He's got Mad Cat looking over him.
Fellow's going right to the back, and honestly, it's the right decision here. Tommy's in a tough position. If Tommy can take down one, that'd be great for Splice. Fellow does find the kill, does find the streaks, and with 43 seconds here, does he choose to use a glide bomb right now and just put it to bed?
I mean, this has been the difference, man. Felony has struggled the first two times they played this. Now, giving it his all, but his 3 kills come in. You still got the close spawn, at least if you are Splice, but they will invest a couple of streaks here, able to pick up one inside of white. They're trying to rotate over. They can still technically win it on this hard point, and they're backhand face spawning out. He's putting out the fighter pilot, too, and just close it out here.
Fighter pilot coming in, and he's coming down on the lookout post. He finds one. No, that's a Banter, and there's the other 2. He's going to call out the second, and not even needed. Splice. Finished game 4 out. They've won back-to-back hard points against this squad. And now they're going to find themselves in a game 5, a search and destroy. A very, very big game for both sides.
And I think a part of that is just the fact that you've gotten to play 2 St. Marie's over the past couple days. You've lost both. You've been able to at least talk about it, review the footage, seen what's gone wrong. One of those, again, you can attest just to a poor game from Felony, but I mean, I know he doesn't have an incredible game statistically, but the fact he gets the streaks at the end, that's really what closes it out, because he gets those streaks when FaZe was starting to really begin to mount that comeback, right?
Yeah. And I mean, say he didn't get the streaks. I think Splice get near the 250 on Winery, but I think it goes to that parking lot. But apart from that, Splice close it out.
Here we go. Tied up. 2-2. FaZe Clan, Splice. We knew this would be a good one. It's all going to come down to this game 5. Don't go anywhere. Tweet the stream. We'll be right back after this quick break. right, Momo, it's game 5 time, buddy. Splice, FaZe Clan. A win here, just massive for both teams. I know it's week 1, but definitely very, very important. FaZe looking for their first win. Splice looking for a 2-1 start without Jurg, which would be fantastic. They'd be ecstatic there. So this is a big game 5.
Yeah, I think it's great. It's big for both teams, and I know Splice want to win this, but for me, it's bigger for FaZe. They lose in a game 5, even if it's a blowout of a 6-0. Say they lose 6-5 or 6-4, they've got to play another game tonight. They're already 0-1 in the league. I have got to say, FaZe, they need to win this. If they do, it's going to change the whole mood of the FaZe camp. Splice, though, they're not going to let this one go easily. Of course, the first search and destroy was on London Docks. FaZe put on a bit of a masterclass there. Will we see the same on St. Marie de Mont?
And remember, obviously, I actually don't know how much they played outside of like the Pro Challenge, because remember the spawns for defense changed, right before Division A came in? Mm-hmm. We saw Division A take a little bit to adapt to that. So if you're FaZe, you at least FaZe and Splice, you got to watch that. But we know teams don't scrim search a whole lot.
Yeah, exactly. And especially when you've got a sub as well. Then again, St. Marie de Mont is pretty standard. I really love this Skycam going into the search and destroy. Really interesting how Vance has been able to get in, plant the bomb. Is he going to get out, or is he going to tuck himself into a nice little corner? He's dodging grenades back and forth there. Attach has already gone down.
They've got a couple players in red here for the retake, and Priest at the backside. The player from FaZe is going to peek top window. Can we check Zuma or Replay's POV now? Because I want to see how they're going to play this.
Jumping on board with Zuma. Oh, that's your teammate, buddy. You don't want to do that. Fellow does go down. Vance answers back. Vance with the second. And he's sit behind the bomb. Zuma at an almost impossible clutch situation. Vance is looking for it. He's got to get it. Benjamin.
Oh, so that's a plant and 3 kills to Vance to start this off. He's going to be well on his way to streaks here very, very early. We're going to watch his POV to start this second round, just see if he can pick him up very quickly.
I don't know if I was kind of distracted by something. Felony got the first blood to attach. Was it a grenade, or was it kind of went through? I have no idea. However, Fellow, once again, first blood.
I'm not sure. Just from the sky camera, I didn't see how exactly he died. But the big thing is Vance. He'll got 450 points already. 300 for the 3 kills, and then 150 for that plant. Vance is going to get in, play aggressive. Okay, good job at least getting away with his life. Making sure he can play for those. I thought he was just going to fly in there. I was like, all right, well, maybe he's not too worried about getting those streaks.
So it goes out from Tommy. Does connect.
Fast plans from both sides.
Yeah, information gathered here. The Vance needs to pick up the kills. That's a good...
Okay.
That's not a good trade.
That was a nice little bait and switch try. I mean, I know what they were going for. Mad Cat jumps across, distracts him, Vance comes in, gets the easy kill. Unfortunately, Zuma wanted nothing to do with those shenanigans and cuts down both.
FaZe answer back just as quick. One apiece now. As we're going to put Splice back on the offense. First blood this time went to Zuma. And interesting to see how round number 3 plays out. It looks like we're seeing a repeat. A lot of grenades coming in. Oh my, you can't see a thing attach. And you're going to pay the price. Felony with the first blood once again.
2 out of the 3 rounds now going to be on him, but Zuma playing the equalizer will put it at 3-3. We see Bomb now. Just wrapping up into mid-map. Vance will be your carrier. Priesta puts him into a 2-on-3 here. Vance just crawling on forward.
Yeah, I'm not sure that with Vance right in the middle here, he's got a bomb. Replays could catch him off guard. He will find him, and he will go down. That's going to be a very punishing position from Splice. Mad Cat now left in a 1v3. He's going to need to find Replays first of all. Replays has spotted him as well. And I like this from Replays. I will say Replays, one of the smartest players on the circuit. And he's just waiting. He's giving time, and he's just giving... the time for his players to come over. Doesn't need it in the end. We'll find the kill. And I will say Replays, when he first rejoined FaZe, there was a lot of doubt. I was one of them. I kind of said, how does FaZe, live up to, the previous couple of years when he had the likes of Clay. He's doing well so far. They, of course, lost Gunless.
All right, well, first blood for Felony. Zuma basically have to kill right back. So they end up dropping in that one. Now FaZe, again with the advantage. Tommy, that's another first blood, so 3 of these 4 first bloods to Splice, but just 1 round to show for it. Can they tack on a second here? Vance, the hero of that first round, has gotten into the site. And what grenades do we have left for the Splice side? Anything right now? You have 1 sticky. Okay, so there's 1 grenade left on Splice.
Madcat spots 1 at A. And he's actually back right off here. The first blood, obviously, onto Priester. They'll know the bomb is down there, but that bomb could have gone by now. Surely not going to have that intel for much longer. Felony backing off, and look at this. There's a sneak play coming in from replays. He's actually stuck right around the back, and he could be coming up to face off. Madcat find 2 here. And now we'll find 1. He's going to be traded out, and now you're looking at a 3v2. Attach and replays. 20 seconds left on the clock. The bomb not going to be picked up here, and replays left in a 1v3. Clinical from Splice there. And a much needed round.
Big round there from Splice to answer back and tie this one up. You'll see at the end here, Felony's been doing great to open rounds, also shut them down. Picks off replays there in top red. Replays out in a very tough spot, obviously, but Felony now talking it through with the guys. Figuring out the plan for our 5th round here. Nice shot of FaZe. For that first win. Alright, let's see what Splice opts to do on offense this time. So, might have bumped a couple players there as he holds the edge. Not going to get in very quickly. Nades go off. They wait for those. Going to toss in their own counter nades here. Going for the back tower. Has to be right onto 1. Do they have anything to follow that up?
They don't. Priester, in fact, is going to answer right back. Tommy is going to be the one taken down. That's the 2nd first blood for FaZe.
Yeah, I wondered if was Tommy supposed to be the second nade that went over? Like, there was nothing to go in with Felony there. I mean, they tossed both those nades to back tower. They get a kill.
Oh, Priester. He's just having fun right now. He's got that godlike cover behind the bomb site. Now in a 4v2. This is a round for FaZe all day long. And look at this, Priester. Go on.
It's for the ace. If Zuma drops, Priest is going to keep holding here, but I don't know what Madcat's supposed to do right now. I mean, bomb's inside of ammo. Priest is holding. You don't want to give him the ace. And yeah, this is a good idea. don't let Priest get this kill. It's all you want to avoid here.
If in doubt, pretend you're a bush.
Yeah.
And sometimes you will see teams go hunting. Priester isn't going to just start running around. He's on a 3-kill streak. We're going to see the time dwindle away here. And this will be a round for FaZe Clan. And you've got to be feeling strong, or feeling positive for FaZe. They're search and destroy game 2. They won 6-2. This one a little bit closer so far. But nicely done by that man, Priester, just controlling the B-bomb site for himself.
This is a guy that, obviously, I don't know if he specifically took a lot of criticism or FaZe took a lot of criticism when he first was announced he was going to join the team. Had a lot of pressure coming into one of the most storied organizations here in Call of Duty esports. I mean, this guy, young guy, is out to prove himself, and he's doing it right now in this game 5, buddy. 5-2 thus far.
A round win here for FaZe will be huge. Double that lead. And I like what's going on here from FaZe. Priester, he's gone to that left side of the map, the A-bomb site here, and we've got full control here in middle from FaZe. You've got 1 looking over, that's going to be replayed, the long-range gun battle, and 1 pushing forward as well. It's going to be super. He likes to get up close and personal on Madcat.
Yeah, he's personable. Like, hello, Madcat. How are you?
And then
exactly.
Zuma. FaZe looking so strong. Replays looking over them from the top. The bomb will be going down. Zuma does 3v2 now for FaZe.
Zuma having a huge step dropping.
And there we have it. The round goes eventually to FaZe, I believe.
I'm going to be 100% honest. From Hunter. Momo just tried to stand up, turn around, and watch from the other place.
It's probably about 30 feet.
I just sat here. Dude, when you go.
You'll be able to tell that by now by just the sound, you'd think. But It is 4-2 to FaZe.
There we go.
Okay.
Sorry, guys, a few technical difficulties, but I believe we're back. All right. We can see the game now, which will make this a bit easier. It's 4-2 for FaZe Clan, but yeah, if you wonder why Momo sounded so not confident with his calls, it's because he wasn't seeing what was happening.
I was basically guessing what was happening.
Okay, well, here we go. All right, FaZe up. 4 versus 3, though, for Splice here in this particular round. Now, let's see, what can Felony and company do? Is Felony with his 3rd first blood?
Definitely bringing a lot to the table, and there's going to be number 2. And this is the round I always say, when it's 4-2, it's a must-need, must-win round here for Splice. You go 5-2 down, you probably give streaks away, but Felony, now he's on a 3-kill streak, they'll want to give him this 4th kill. You've been looking for streaks, and he's just sat here, almost just watching the flank. And Priester, play we already highlighted for having a strong start, is in a very difficult position.
Well, we saw when he was working on that ace, Mad Cat kind of went and hid, didn't want to feed another kill to Felony. Priest in a similar spot. You don't want to give this kill to Felony. Felony, though, is on the backside of the side, so I don't think that'll be the case. Now the call is going to come in. Felony's going to immediately try to get in position to pick it off, but Priest says now wrap back out mid-map. He should be running in a Mad Cat. Mad Cat gets eyes of him, depending if he tries to force the entire way through. It looks like that'll be the call. Mad Cat,
he's gone through.
Mad Cat never is able to give that information. He pushed right out of bottom red. I mean, it's not going to matter. There's no time, but that was interesting that he just goes in and gets the kill. Thankfully, it wasn't on the Felony, right?
Yeah, and Mad Cat almost ran away, hoping that Fellow would pick it up. Mad Cat could have very easily killed him and traded, I believe, there. Felony's just waiting for him to come in, doesn't get it, but wise plays for Splice, and a much-needed round, and credit to Felony. Big two kills at the start of the round. Now we sit here at 4-3.
Like you said, FaZe looking for that crucial 5th round. Okay.
He's not shy.
He's just going. He wants the 4th first blood. He's tagged 1. There's 2 players here to deal with, though. I think he's in trouble. Tries to peek the edge. Will drop. Advantage to FaZe, but that's what you're going to see Felony do. Go forward, get information, get a kill or die. That'll be what you see more often than not.
Bomb is down. 4v3. Great stuff here for FaZe. And again, that kill onto Felony so huge. One player just tucking himself away there. As the time dwindles here, this is favouring FaZe all day long.
Let's see. Tommy doesn't finish the kill and will end up dropping. I don't know if it would have made a ton of a difference, but still, you got to finish that one. That was one of those ones where he's like, I got to get this kill quick. I got to snap onto the player to the right. Unfortunately, just never finishes the first kill before that snap happens.
Yeah, almost jumping the gun a little bit there, literally. And Tommy now in a difficult position as he finds himself and the squad down and 1 round away from losing the series in a game 5.
I mean, I don't know how brutal it is because of the current situation for Splice, but it would be tough just knowing you lost a Game 5 to United, a Game 5 to FaZe as well, and you could easily maybe be 3-0 in this particular division to start, despite the fact that you don't have Jerd.
Absolutely right. Replay's now getting full control. Grenade's going to come out. It's got Hunker, so it doesn't really matter here, but Zuma, look at this. We talk about a flank. Priester does go down, and Felony, with his 4th first blood, does make a move, but Zuma, the man on your screen right now, this interaction with Mad Cat could be huge.
And it didn't look like he was ready for it. I think he heard him. He's able to pick up the kill. Last one will drop. We're getting closer and closer to around 11 here, Momo.
5-4, Felony again. Not only opening the round, closing it. You can't really ask for more, except obviously don't run through the middle and die like you did on the previous one. I think you'll be a little bit more cautious on this one, with it being potentially the last round. How they play this defense, I'll be interested to see. He's going armored. He's got it inconspicuous.
We got to go to Felony again.
Is he just going to run straight through?
Yes. That's what Felony does. He gets as much information as he can. This time, though, you said he'd be a little bit more cautious. This time he does go to the top, but his attach gets a kill. Now things get a little bit scarier. They try to nade the back. He's the only one to actually toss one. Before Felony gets even involved in the action, all the kills go in the way of FaZe Clan. They've got a 4v2 advantage now. Mad Cat and Felony have to clutch. I mean, Felony has been stellar in search, but he would need to pull off some magic here. Mad Cat, though, as he finds a pick, gives him a chance, weakens one as well. Almost wins a gunfight there against Zuma, too.
This would have been a different round if he didn't let the bomb go down. It could have been a lot different. Attach takes down Fellow. Now Mad Cat has the 1v3 and the defuse. FaZe looks like they've done it here. They will be closing this one out, and FaZe plan to win Game 5 against Splice. It's a tough pill to swallow if you're a Splice fan. Another Game 5 loss.
3 series, you played about 14 maps. It has been some long series for Splice thus far in Division B. But FaZe, again, this is a big day for FaZe. You're playing Splice, you're playing E United later tonight. You needed to at least go 1-1. But now you got a chance. Maybe you go 2-0, and suddenly the woes of yesterday's series lost to Envy all but evaporate in my eyes, and you come in here and have a 2-0 day.
Absolutely. These guys will be looking to make day 2 FaZe's day. And that, of course, starts it off so strong. Unfortunate for Splice, you've got to think the ifs, the buts, and Jerd, I bet he's sat in Ireland itching to get on that plane. And hopefully we'll be here for next week. Unfortunate situation for them. Again, you think Splice, would it be different with Jerd, and would it be different? I've got to say, for me, FaZe impressed me, especially in the S&Ds. First one was 6-2, and then closing it out there, and that's with Fellow putting in a solid performance.
And that's the thing. I think Fellows been doing a solid job. But the thing is, they've gotten so close with like 2 Game 5s. If you get like that little bit of a bump with Jerd, like, is that the difference between winning a series and not? Like, would you be 3-0 if you're Splice right now? I would make the case that you probably are 3-0 right now if you had Jerd. And it's impossible to tell, but like that's my gut on it. Like, if you're pushing these series to a Game 5, this is not a knock to Fellow at all, but it's more just a communication and comfort thing for me, playing with your regular teammate. I think they might be 3-0 right now. So it's going to be really exciting to see, once Jerd gets out here, how they perform.
Communication, chemistry, everything in between. Jerd, obviously, such a vital, part of the Splice roster. Tommy said himself, he's irreplaceable, both as a player and a teammate. Hopefully we'll see him next week. I'm sure you're watching back home, Jerd. Obviously, get out here, get some W's under the belt for Splice. However, great game. FaZe take it.
FaZe take it, and Zuma, a huge part of that. We've got him on stage with Jess.
Yep, we are here with Zuma coming off of that win. Now, map 1 was a little bit rough. You guys were neck and neck for a while, and then you fell behind. Where exactly do you think things fell apart there?
We're just making too many mistakes in hardpoint, especially off rotation. We just keep dying. I know I got streaks, and we ended up dying when I used them. We just need to play smarter off rotation. It's killing us right now, so we got to work on that.
Now, you guys have been really strong lately on Lungedoc CTF. Zuma, you've been picking up so many of those flag captures. What's the general strategy there, or why do you think that you guys are so strong on that map and that game mode?
I think we just stay aggressive really well. We're really fast-paced. I think we're just, we're staying ahead of the game, and I think that's really important, thinking faster than our opponent. So I think we're just playing the game mode really smart, really organized, and it's working for us.
And finally, you guys picked up your first win of the Pro League so far, and you're headed into a match versus E United later tonight. So how are you feeling?
Feeling good. Excited to play Clay. Can't wait to see him backstage, talk a little smack, and it should be a fun match.
Great. All right. Well, thanks so much for the interview. Best of luck versus E United. Back to Rich at the desk.
Thanks so much, Jess. So FaZe definitely has a long road ahead of them still. But to break down that match, we have a special guest. We got Octane on the desk for this one. Let's actually talk about what FaZe needs to do, though, today. We already talked about them having they have 2 matches today. That doesn't happen every single day for you in the Pro League as a team. How much more difficult do you think it's going to be for them?
Well, for the second map, maybe not as much, since obviously they're going to be warmed up now that they played Splice, but they got the big one out of the way. The Splice for them is going to be a must-win. Like, if you lose to Envy, you got to either beat Splice or United, and you're going to want to beat the team that has a sub.
Octane, I think as a team, I'd probably rather be in the position that your team was in for that 2-day matchup. I feel like you had some easier teams. For FaZe, do you feel like this is something that they need to think about going into today?
If you have 2 really difficult days, it tends to stress on your team a little bit. Or 2 matches, rather. And, our day, like you said, was a little bit easier than all of our other matches. So, just being able to get that quick 2-0 is huge for us. And, maybe a difficult day for FaZe could easily end up in an 0-2. But, bringing a win here against Splice is massive for them.
Yeah, but this first one was really impressive. And really the hard points in general from Splice, they came out very, very, very strong inside of hardpoint channels.
Yeah, and of course it's kind of nutty for them as well. They just do a fantastic job of getting streaks. Like, we keep talking about Tommy and how good he is, even on this map yesterday, but just the intelligence to, juggling the hill on that open street hill. And then they use all of their streaks over on, like, the dome side of things, that giant long line of sight. Use fighter pilots, you can kill everyone. So, incredibly effective job at getting the streaks, using them almost perfectly, and they won 3 out of 4 hills. And again, Road, they take the L on it by 20-some-odd points, but it's barely anything, and that's where they're earning their streaks. So, close game until that happens, but then, yeah, they just blow it out of the water.
Crazy to see that on Cave as well. 97 seconds, I believe it was on Cave, a very contest-heavy hill. So we do see Splice's dominance somewhat in that map, but the story starts to change a little bit when we get into the second map for that SND. And Chance, to go back to you for a second here, we were looking at a few stats, and we actually saw this is a map that FaZe has done very well on historically.
Yeah, I think it was Dallas. They were undefeated 6-0, and I think going into New Orleans, they only played it 3 times, but still posted a 2-1 record. And of course, when you see something like that, it does look poorly, and it makes it seem like Spice didn't do a good job in the pick and bans. But I think Spice, we found out yesterday on Texas, like if they're missing Jerd, and Jerd is a huge role player for them on the sniper, it's just a pick your poison type deal. Like if they're uncomfortable on a map, they're gonna have to try something new. And to their credit, I don't think they played terribly. They found themselves in like 3 or 4 separate clutch situations, like 1v1s, and they just never went their way.
Yeah, no, Octane, just to talk more to that whole Splice situation, too, with them having the sub, what exactly is that scenario like, and what are you expecting out of this team until they do have Jerd here?
Coming from like a game mode by game mode, at least when we played the sub at ESWC last year, Hardpoint is way easier, which was evident in the series because they won both of them. The S&D is really where it comes into play because, sticking someone into that, the setups that you practice for months and months, and then just, having to completely switch everything up or try to just fit that one person in is really difficult. So I'm not surprised they won the 2 hardpoints by as much as they did. I am surprised by that. The Texas thing that you brought up, or Chance brought up rather, not having Jerd on that sniper is huge, but another thing is playing into London Knox, which is FaZe's best S&D map by a wide margin. Didn't really work out too well.
Yeah, definitely. And just to really stress it, when you were at ESWC, you were playing with Pander, and that's also someone that you played with a whole lot. So there is obviously not chemistry for the whole team, but for you to at least in the past having played
not quite European and North American.
The big thing is when you look at this, that I actually got to talk to Fellow, and he was saying he loved how much respect he was actually getting from the team. They were able to work well together. But there were moments like when they got to the Gibraltar in their previous series, not in the series that we just saw, that they were like, oh, we got to go over really quick call-outs. Like little things like that you don't even think of. So there is a lot of stress on that team right now. And we kind of have to do justice to both teams because FaZe played very well and Splice is up quite a lot. And we'll see that when we actually jump into the CTF here. And in the CTF, was there anything that caught your eye, Chance?
It was everything that really FaZe could do right, they did do right. I mean, they beat them, like 5-1? Incredibly convincing, and that's back to the FaZe that we've seen all the way back to Dallas where they were undefeated. And it was just, it's one thing to win your gunfights. It's another thing to come up with all the clutch plays and just literally time and time again, FaZe, they just do everything right. Down to like the routes that they're taking even with the flag, it's just flawless. And even just to take it even farther step, it feels like they die at the right times. Like, they had a situation where they have 4 men all pushed up into the fire in the base. The only player to die is Replays, but Tommy got behind enemy lines, and he's hanging out in barrels. Well, Tommy gets 1 kill, and now they're freaking out. They're like, well, we have to push with the flag towards him because Spice is spawning up. But then because Replays dies, he actually spawns behind barrels and just shoots Tommy in the back. So, like, when they're dying in correct spots, like, things are just like everything's going well.
So, Octane, what have you thought so far in World War II of FaZe Clan on CTF?
I mean, Dallas, they're the best CTF team in the world, and what seems when they're not winning their capture the flags, that's when the issues start to settle in. But if they keep performing like that, things are going to go pretty well for them this week.
Yeah, it's a crazy swing mode as well.
Yeah, and game 3 is huge.
It's so big, and I think when you talk about it starting to go wrong a little bit, that was that dip in performance. When we actually talked about both of these teams in this matchup, there are 2 teams that you have a lot of faith in as someone who watches Call of Duty as an esport, but they were both coming off of probably their slowest tournaments. And now, all of a sudden, we're really putting them to the test here in the LAN League. Division B is not an easy division to be in, but let's keep taking a look at the last series that did go down and look at the next map. This one, Chance, break it down for us.
This is the first time they've won it, right? Like, the first time they played, it looked a little bit rough. This is where Felony again went like 11-27. Next time around, they played Unilat, and they lost by all of 3 points. But again, Felony was like a little bit behind, but seemed to fill in the role quite a bit better. By the end of this one, I think Vance had earned streaks, Mad Cat got streaks at 1 point, and Felony even closes it out with streaks. So, streaks on St. Marie de Mont, they're going to be incredibly important. And something that Tommy actually talked about in the interview, they actually had a really good chance, FaZe did, because he earned streaks at the second hill and trying to rotate to hill number 3, burns the fighter pilot, burns the glide bomb, and they don't really get anything out of it. And there's a situation where they use the fighter pilot, get 2 kills, all of FaZe is pushed up on the barn side of things. So they know Splice is spawning out back ammo, and they got to run through radio tower. If Tommy just puts the artillery down on the cut from there, then the artillery could be huge, because instead the glide bomb, it got them all of 1 kill, and then it's just a battle. But if he just cuts off the one lane that he knows Spice is going to have to push past, I think that second hill, or the third hill, could have massively gone in FaZe's way, but because it didn't, they found themselves down by like 80 points and then never really had the opportunity to catch back up.
I think that's pretty clearly what the story was in that one, but all that pushes us all the way to a Game 5, and we get into the S&D, and we were actually watching it with quite a few people. We had Ben over there losing his absolute mind, freaking out, but Sam, in that S&D, what were the key moments for you?
I think it wasn't necessarily key moments. It was more, I think it's just Splice trying to run around the map and make the best of a worse situation. Like I said earlier, it's just FaZe. They know how to play the map. They played it a bunch of times. Granted, the new spawns might have messed things up a little bit, but they just made the clutch plays, really. The thing about this whole entire series is going back to the fill, fitting someone into a respawn. You know how to play it fundamentally. There's not really things that you can, do crazy on hard points to try to win a game. I think that's why Splice was able to take these 2 maps to begin with in the first place. But, FaZe won 2 CTF and 2 S&Ds to win Game 5. So, the series kind of went not how I predicted it. I didn't think it would go Game 5, but the match that they did win, it's not too crazy.
Yeah, and to the point of Fellow trying to fill in a role, they had a couple rounds where you see where Felony, he's watching the up top, he got quite a few kills from that position. So when Spice was able to get control of the B site, they did it perfectly. They're even using the Tavern gas or whatever it's called to get control of the B site. But they also had a couple rounds where Felony's pushing up by himself mid-map trying to flank, and then he just gets killed, and there's literally no one around him from Spice to trade. So a couple situations where it's just he's the odd man out, or at the very least get traded, your teams find themselves in a bad spot. And I think that was actually the difference maker. I think it was literally 6 First Bloods went to FaZe and 4 went to Splice.
I just can't stress how important this series is really going to be for the overall standings. FaZe going to be able to take the series. FaZe in a position where they had a slow start after their first day here for the Division B. Now they're starting to heat up a little bit, but it's still their hardest day. They're only halfway through their hardest day. Splice, on the other hand, is kind of just trying to get as many wins as they can before they have their full team here. They're going to fall down to FaZe ultimately, but the next match that we actually do have for FaZe is going to be rough. That's going to be E United. That's the last match of the day. Before that, it's going to be Evil Geniuses versus Envy. Pat Austin, the storyline. Yeah, I think that's the main thing that we really need to talk about here. So before we even talk about the storylines, if you just look at them as 2 teams, this is one of the closest matchups of the day. And both of these teams they have talent on their rosters, but it hasn't all come together yet. Now, when we talk about the history a little bit, we got a player here right now who knows it better than anyone. What exactly has gone down between these 2 players in the past?
It's the last 3 games. They won the first event in a W together on FaZe. They split, came back together in Black Ops 3, and things went horribly. Everyone knows, the Reddit clips of them arguing for 15 minutes. It's just the back and forth. They had it on Hot Mic a couple days ago. So, everyone knows it. It's been on Twitter. It's just the back and forth, father and son. It's storylines, people.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. We're getting the good stuff here on day number 2. Chance, who do you think is able to take this?
When we did the predictions, I think I went with EG, but the thing for Envy for me is just their hardpoint game has been pretty bad by at least the standards you'd imagine they would be for the talent that they have, but when they played FaZe, they won both the hardpoints. So it seems that their biggest issue they've at least improved on. Of course, FaZe should be tough competition, right? Because we just saw a series where they lose both the hardpoints but win everything else. But I don't know, man. I got faith in EG, right? It's just, again, we saw them play against LG. Even if they're getting smoked in the hard point, like the Search and Destroy, I think all 3 of their matches have gone around 11. So they just got to close out the Search. And their CTFs, you guys beat them by what? Like a flag?
Yeah, flag.
So close games in every game mode. I think it should be competitive with FaZe pretty well. Across all game modes, just who's more clutch.
All right, well, I want to hear if EG had anything to say about it. Jess is down on the floor to give us some insight.
Yep, I actually caught up with Aches from EG just a little bit ago, and he's feeling really good going into this match versus Envyus, especially after beating them in New Orleans. Now, he says that Slasher is the only one that can keep Envyus in the respawn maps, and that they'd like to avoid playing Envyus on Hardpoint Gibraltar if they can, but other than that, if they play their cards right, it should be a 3-0 in favor of EG, so we'll see if Aches turns out to be correct. Back to you, Rich.
All right. Well, how true do you think that is, Octane? How important do you think Slasher is really going to be for this Envy team?
I think if Austin's playing badly, they don't win. I think he's an absolute catalyst for success. And an interesting thing that she just said is they don't want to play them on Gibraltar. I was talking to Donnie, and he said London Docks is their best hardpoint map. So if that's in the series, this is going to be interesting. Because he's scared of Gibraltar, but if London Docks is in, this might be a quick series.
All right, that's actually really interesting to think about. So when we get to those vetoes, that's going to be very important to pay attention to. And we're going to be jumping into them in just a second here. Is there anything else, Chance, that you think we should be looking out for as far as maps are concerned?
I'm concerned if Docs is going to come to play as well, because we saw what happened when they played LG. They got like 87 points. I think they even lost Epsilon, or at the very least, it was an incredibly close game against Epsilon. So, if I'm EG, I don't know if I'm trying to run that back, but at the same time, maybe they say, hey, we know, LG exposed our mistakes. Now we know what we need to fix going into the match. But no, I think it is a huge point to bring up. Octane's right. If Slasher doesn't show up, this team probably isn't going to have success. And honestly, Enable might be the guy to shut him down. Enable's been, at the very least, in the respawns, very, very nice.
This is the worst possible hardpoint draw for them. The worst one.
Envy is instantly going to scoop that up.
This is Envy's bread and butter maps right now.
So,
for hardpoint.
So that already, Envy kind of having that upper hand right as we get into the vetoes here. But I want to ask you, Sam, as someone who's gotten to play against both these teams, you know the players really well. Where exactly do you stand on them as teams? How do you think that they are going to perform as we move forward in the season? Because there have been a lot of questions around both these rosters.
It's so difficult to say because, Envy's the storyline. When are they going to get good? It's been a couple months now. They should be good by now. And the same with EG. It's they're so hot and cold, you don't know. Envy came out with the fire against FaZe. They could just as easily fall flat against EG right now. But, with those maps, I wouldn't predict that. But I really couldn't tell you. I think it's just day-to-day, event to event.
I feel like not too much light was ever put on it. But this Envy roster in particular, I feel like is something that hits home for you because one of your teammates was kind of involved in that trade, and we knew that it was happening, behind the scenes, kind of had a feeling that it was happening before it did. This was a roster that was handpicked. These guys were waiting to get this back together. And have you seen that chemistry at all yet?
I really haven't. I know they teamed together before, but that was a completely different time. It was, jetpacks, advanced warfare, crazy jumping around, and this game's a lot more slow and methodical. Kyler's coming from Halo. Donnie hasn't played professionally in a couple of years. So, the learning curve and the adjustment process is definitely taking a toll on them. But I do believe it's a matter of time, TM, but I think they can do it.
See, that's the thing that I really do agree with. You pull all those factors together, and you say, all right, if we take those factors into account, it's going to take a really long time. Yeah, wait, what's catching your eye with the vetoes?
Why? I don't understand. They played Forest, and both times they played it, we went up 5-2. I guess that was our fault for going around 11. And Epsilon, the same thing, 5-2. If we or Epsilon close this out, that's a quick map. Forest does not look like EG's good map.
And then I think EG has even said, just publicly, we haven't practiced our search game that much. It might be a thing where they're like, oh, well, now we've practiced the map.
Texas is in as well. Who snipes on EG on Texas?
I was going to say, I don't think we've seen them play it at all.
Exactly. No one's sniping on that map. That's Splice with Fellow instead of Jared.
Yeah, I think we saw how strong of a pick that was. It was tried to be. People tried to replicate it. So, is it safe to say, start with you, Sam, after this veto process, you're on board with
I think this is going to be a quick series.
You think it's quick
3-1, 3-0.
How about you, Chance?
Well, this morning I would have picked Envy, and then everyone else did. So I was like, I'll give EG some love. But yeah, no, I'm feeling pretty confident in Envy. Again, their only serious problem, I think, was the hard point. They got Docs where EG hasn't been great. I think there's a lot of potential for this Envy team to, turn around their tournament year here.
And we've got to look at both these teams a little bit, but this is where we really put them to the test. And it looks like this veto process has started to go in favor of one of these teams. We're going to jump to a quick break, but do not go anywhere. This is one of the best matchups of the day. We'll be back shortly for Evil Geniuses versus Team Envyus.
This February, we're celebrating Black History Month.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CWL Pro League presented by the PlayStation 4. We have the best Call of Duty teams from around the world competing, and we are so excited to get it underway.
Welcome back. It's time for match 4 of the night. Envy versus Evil Geniuses. Story of two teams that I had low expectations for coming into the CWL Pro League chance. Both looking to see if they can, end their day 2 on a high.
When you say low expectations, though, like, what's that standard for you, are you trying to say? Like, low expectations sort of what? Like, you expect them to be in the bottom 2 or fighting for that 4th base spot, or?
Let me say this. Epsilon, I got them in dead last.
Okay.
I don't have Envy or EG much higher than that, but right now, if I had to pick one team I think is better than the other, I've got Envy over EG, and I've actually got Envy in this matchup.
It's tough to call, though, right? Because, like, Envy, obviously, they look pretty good just because they get that win over FaZe, and then FaZe beats Splice. Like, how high is Envy's stock? Really, a lot of questions, but this is going to be a tough test for them. Well, pretty much every single match they play is going to be a tough test for them, or at least seemingly. But, yeah, you got to imagine the story, at least for EG, it's an impressive one, right? Like, back against the wall, these are 4 players that, like, at least 2 of them, if they didn't qualify for Pro League, people would have just been mind-blown, right? Because, like, Enable and Apathy have been at the top of the game for years. And Nake's and Nameless have taken a bit of a backseat to that, but not very far off. But to have to get the top 8 back over in New Orleans and to accomplish that. I'm just glad they're here, and hopefully they can continue their success.
Envy yesterday in their win against FaZe, everyone was really on the same page. They were all clicking, and they looked quite well-rounded, especially in the slang. They've got to start it off here on London Docks Hardpoint. If you remember LG versus EG yesterday, well, EG got smacked by Luminosity Gaming on this exact map and game mode combination. I don't expect it to be as much of a blowout here, but EG, they've definitely got their hands full in this series as the boys in blue look to stay up.
It is their third time playing it, though, right? Like, any mistakes they made, they have to have been able to talk over it and fix it because they played the exact same thing against Epsilon. And I will say, Envy, I'm not completely sold on for Hardpoint. Yes, they look good against FaZe, but FaZe is like 0-4 in Hardpoint, right? So there's a lot of questions about both of these teams of how good are they really.
Well, let's get it started. Off to the races for the beginning of this best-of-5 series. So far, the kill feed, all Envy, as Temps a perfect 3 and off the break of this map. 2 more kills go in favor of Envy. They will get the opening seconds, and already Hook trying to push on through for the spawn. As Classic finds a kill inside Beer. 19-0 chance off the break.
Yeah, and I want to see, well, if Temps could get streaks. I think if you're that close on a hill like Statue, like, you don't even necessarily have to put yourself in a potentially bad situation. Like, bait out your teammates. He was only maybe 2 kills away. Even if they just went and fought for the rotations, him getting the hill time would be huge. But either way, it's not the case. See, EG, not only are they going to break through on Statue, but they've got a fair bit of map control. But I'm going to say Enable, a lot of pressure on in, had a lot of players to deal with as everyone from Envy crossing over towards Sandbags.
And right now, it's going to be a 1v1 engagement between Hook and Enable for this back box area control. Enable won't check this corner. Second player here. Slasher's got the help. Envy will get the opening seconds on the rotation. You got to love what you're seeing right now from Envy, especially towards that back side of the map. Slasher actually playing in the hill with the AR, and I don't mind this at all in this setup chance.
Yeah, no, the setup is pretty good, actually. You see the team kills coming in, and that's just going to help Envy out some more, but they got the spread, and you see the players rotating into the back because they keep spawning over on that tunnel side of things. So they got the B-cut control. Temps got a big responsibility. He gets 1, he gets 2 as well. And there's, well, I would have said a clean 4 down. It's actually, well, another nade team kill. And you see the players rotating into the back because they keep spawning over on that tunnel side of things. So
60 seconds when they get the rest of the scrap time. Again, Slasher in the hard point doesn't actually have to get into any engagements. He started that hill at 4-1. He'll end it at 4-1. I think it's a great sign for just how good the pressure was from the submachine guns of Envyus and the help of a couple team nade kills from EG. Obviously didn't work out. Aches an astonishing 0-7 off the break. I think you want to see him get involved here soon, Chance, if you're an EG fan.
Yeah, I will say, though, to the credit of Envy, not only was that hold really good, but we saw against FaZe that their issue was the holding, because they're actually very, very good at breaking through the setups of their opponents. They're very good when the pace is fast, and looks like, though, it is EG coming out on top just for the moment. Slasher falls mid-map as well. There you go. That's what you need to see if you're an EG fan. They get that clean 4 down. Here's the opportunity for the setup. Enable is going to live on this statue for the time being, and you see how far pushed up Nameless is. He is going to fall, but still buys his team at least another 10 seconds before the even contest can come in. And they still have to get past Enable.
Yeah, Enable's staying alive here, basically single-handedly watching this cross. It's so key for Evil Geniuses as they look to get the rest of this time. The lead, which was 160 seconds, now down to just 30. And Envy already having to try to rotate towards these back spawns, but look who's here. It's Enable. They're going to use a fighter pilot, and most players are indoors, only able to get 1 with the streak, but it's done enough of a job by distracting the boys of EG to give Envy the chance to fight for these spawns.
Yeah, important enough to get the back spawns. It's what you like to see. EG, though, got a lot of pressure coming up the side, but Classic is there for the trade, so that's what you got to do if you're Envy. If you have the good spots, make sure you trade out the kills, and Classic's going to let it ride. Now he's got 2 players in the front trying to go for contest time. You see the gunfight's going in the back as well. Envy doing just about everything right, and he's got the streaks in him.
That's the key part. Classic 4th streak, more score streaks earned. The big gunfight chance actually came down with Temp back by that coal area on your minimap, that top right side. Got the 1v1, got the kill, which kept Envy in control of the spawns. Envy, the first team to eclipse the 100-second mark. It looks like Enable will at least fight for some of this scrap time. Slasher, the furthest push towards this Korean hardpoint. Let's see what he can do.
Well, he's also the only player alive for Envy, so, well, he's got to play his life, and he's trying to survive and pick up Aches as well, but eventually Nameless is just going to clean that kill up, and there's not much Slasher can do. Either way, though, you see Aches never got moved, so the call was still there. He gets picked up, but they're just trying to keep Envy as far away as possible. EG's got a very nice spread. After here waiting in tin, I mean, that's what, 50 feet away from the hill, and it seems that Envy, they're just so far away.
Yeah, and I was wondering, are we going to see a streak brought out? We will, and that's going to kill Enable almost instantly. He'll also spot Avenue. It's a two-piece there. Everyone dead on EG for a moment. Here come the yellow arrows of Envy. They'll try to soar on in. Again, the lead's still about 25 seconds, and with 30 seconds still left in Crane, I actually love the use of that streak there, Chance.
Yeah, no, very good. And an important thing with the fighter pilot is, of course, the angle as well. That Crane does provide a lot of cover, but Classic makes sure to go straight from the side. EG, though, they're able to fight through. They had the favorable spawns to get inside the hill. Either way, though, that might be somewhat of a win for Envy, right? Like, they don't get the rotations, but they still chip away 15, 20 seconds off the time.
At the end of the first rotation, you had a triple negative ace. You also had some streaks earned and used by Envy, and you're only down by about 13 seconds. You can't be feeling too bad about that one if you're EG, but now you've got to kick it into gear. As I say that, though, it's all Envy in the kill feed again. They've been dominant so far on this middle statue hardpoint.
Yeah, this is something we've seen from Envy before, actually. Like, getting the kills hasn't really been the problem for him. It's just playing hardpoint the correct way. We saw on the Sandbags Hill, they get that early setup. They get a bunch of time, but other than that, EG's been a pretty decent job of at least kind of making things messy. Either way, though, Envy, even on statue here, been in pretty good control. It's not quite full 60 standards, but you like to see it if you're an Envy fan.
What is it about Slasher that makes him so good? 15-8 right now, 4 streak, over a minute in the hardpoint. It seems like he's in a league of his own as he gets full streaks.
I mean, it helps that he's got an incredibly nice shot, which, of course, the past 3 years he's been able to show that off, but he's also an incredibly intelligent player, and I think that is ever more important in this game in World War II, that the smarter players are the ones that are going to thrive. Either way, though, this is the setup we've seen before. When Envy got it, they got the full 60. Right now, they're in control at the start. EG, they have to fix something, but there's another team kill. Slasher has full streaks. 3 players coming up the back, though. Well, looks like they're going for the split. 2 in the back. Classic's got important gunfights. The pre-fires coming in. They're trying to go for the trades, and it looks like he's distracted for just long enough that a couple players from the back are able to come in.
Chance, 15 kill difference between these teams as Envy get another 3 dead on EG. They're just not matching the slang from the boys in blue. Again, a triple negative, 6 and 18. Absolutely not something that you want to see. The veteran on your squad, 182 to 105. Now the biggest lead of the game for Team Envyus.
Yeah, and I think EG might have just been a little bit too slow in that situation. Apio, he is going to be able to get a little bit of scrap time, so not only does he get 15 points for his team, he takes 15 away from Envy, so it is at least a 30-point swing, but at the same time, Slash is already pushing the next hill. He's got the flamethrower, guarantees that kill, so Envy, they do get the setup early on.
And I love that right there. Guarantee the trade. All you need to do, as long as the player doesn't have armor, is tag him once with the flamethrower and you'll get the kill. He knows his teammates are spawning close. They'll be able to supplement that hill so much quicker. So instead of fighting a gunfight that can go 50-50, he just soars around the corner, spraying the flamethrower. Even though Envy don't hold down the hard point off the break, heads up play from Slasher.
After he just got streaks, I'm pretty sure as well. He talked about flying around corners. He's flying through docks, and he actually wasted no time. They don't want Envy to get any of this time as well. You see the split bomb for Envy coming in. After he's trying to do that justice. Now you see EG completely surrounding Tin. So I like that investment. Calling the glide bomb right away. You're nowhere near the hill to help out your team. You got to be there in some way. And, of course, that might help out a little bit. Still down by about 60 points. But EG trying to make the comeback.
90-second lead. Now down to a 45-second lead. And, again, slowly diminishing. Fighter pilot coming on in. They'll spot every player, but I believe only kill 1. But he will spawn out. Slasher spawns out. EG have a number advantage for a moment. Will they take control of the hard point right now? More streaks earned now for Nameless.
A lot of potential here for EG coming in the front as well. Slasher, though, and more importantly, Temp inside of the hill are picking up quite a few kills, but it looks like EG is actually successful. The pressure's coming on, and now you actually have 2 different players over by docks, and just like that, the clean 4 down. It happened so fast. Still, though, plenty of time for EG to try and get back into this. It's not going to be easy. They're going for the 3-man flood through mid-map. Temp's just waiting for him. He's on a 5 streak, trying to make it more.
Last players in the flank, and they now know it. 60-second lead again. While this is all going down, Temp's worked himself up to his 6th streak. With every score streak to his name, one final player here, and he's dead. Temp, 29-21, with over a minute in the objective as well. Every single player positive on Envyus as they look to close the map out on this next raid hardpoint.
And I love that instant reaction from Temp. He's like, where they're trying to spawn, gets the call out from his team, instantly whips around, all of EG spawning in the back. and that is absolute worst case scenario. 20 seconds away for Envy to win this game. They have all the streaks. They have the full setup. EG, this is absolute desperation mode.
Aches, one death away from being 9-30. One of the worst stat lines we've seen so far in the CWL Pro League. He's been called out. He's been killed. 9-30. Aches goes in map 1 as Envy smoke EG on London Docks hardpoint.
Yeah. Pretty brutal there, Jack. I was trying to do the math in my head from the scoreboard. So he goes negative 21. I don't even know if Envy was positive 21. Like, I think literally the kill difference in that game was literally just on Aches.
My goodness. You already know. Slasher's opening that scoreboard and chuckling to himself. The rivalry there. Obviously on Hot Mic the other day, which one of the unique shows in all of esports that airs every Tuesday, live on MLG.com. But no, it's funny to watch as Slasher gets the better of his former teammate Aches there. And Envy strike first, looking great in hardpoint again.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's a rough game 1, but I guess to EG's credit, they've had a couple rough game 1s in the past. The Search and Destroy, they're going to need the swing map, and I guess it happened against LG. They got a 100-point club on that exact map, but then they bounced back, and even when they found themselves down 5-2, still clutched up enough to, at the very least, force that round 11. Of course, they weren't successful, but you do appreciate that, right? To have the mental fortitude to be like, okay, like, it's just one map. We can bounce back, not a problem. So definitely expect the second map to be more competitive, and it's also hopefully more difficult to go triple negative in Search, hopefully.
Hopefully. We'll find out. That's not the best map for Aches there, staying at single-digit kills, but 30 deaths. From Envy, though, that man on your screen, Temp, what a performance we just saw from him, earning those streaks, single-handedly breaking the beer hardpoint at one point. Again, what made him such a good player when we first saw him all the way back in Advanced Warfare was kind of how much of a duo he was with Hook. We called them the Bash Brothers. You would just kind of spawn them in on the map, and they had enough slaying power, it seemed, to carry their entire team if they needed to. Obviously, a little bit tougher to do that in this game of Call of Duty World War II, but it seems like he's finding his groove right now with the current setup this team has.
And that's what you appreciate to see, right? Like, Slasher's gotten a lot of flack of, like, man, you put this roster together, and then you get, like, top 12, and then I think top 12 again. Like, they haven't seen really any success this year at all, but if the expectation is you got to have these two new young players who boots on the ground, they're not as experienced, well, the idea would be for them to get better and better as the year goes on. So it's not about the rough start. It's about how you finish. And, of course, this would be the absolute perfect time for Envy to turn their game around. You know, it's the $500,000 in playoffs that they're going to be fighting for. And, again, I've been harping on it was their hard point where they've had a lot of flaws in the past and where they're just struggling to just work as a team. And now they're undefeated so far. Granted, we're only 3 maps in for them, but obviously looking improved.
Well, it's time for game number 2. EG down 0-1, but we know hardpoint's not their specialty. Would you say their best game mode is Search and Destroy, or you think it's CTF?
Well, honestly, it's a toss-up. It's definitely not hardpoint. And after that, it's a little bit tougher to call. But I don't know. I'd probably give them a slight edge in Search and Destroy just because I'm still not sold on this team of across the board having enough slaying power. Obviously, that game from Aches doesn't help. But really enough, I think Aches has actually been the guy for them in Search. That's been pretty well. I know he's put up at least 2 double-digit games in Search. So I don't know. He just needs a double-digit game at hardpoint as well. But either way, we'll see what EG is able to put together. Also see if Temp can get some snipes and actually gets the snapshot over on the other player. It is going to get traded out instantly, but not a bad first blood.
Aches answers right back. Now with 3v3, Classic gives away his position. I'm surprised he even tries to challenge us with Ace having an FG. Well, it's because he's got Slasher watching over him. He'll also tag up Enable. Now they look to collapse. It's down to a 1v1. Hook versus Enable. And that nade is looking like it's perfect. He knows he's got him one shot. Will he try to chase and challenge his kill? It does appear so. He's taking so much time, though. I don't like this play at all from Hook. That was so much hesitation. Where's the confidence?
Even then, like, you're on defense, you know exactly where he is, you're on an amazing head glitch, like, you don't really have to move, but there you go. Enable makes the play, and that's a pretty solid round. Obviously, the first blood gets traded out instantly, but Enable was tagged up, Aches got cleaned up, it was a 2v1. Yes, Enable gets that instant trade, but you gotta imagine, Puke at least had a small advantage, so not a bad first round for EG.
Yeah, not at all. Very quick trades, very quick round, but again, you gotta favor Hook in that scenario, especially after landing that nade right at his feet. 1-0, the scoreline in favor of EG. Aches solo holding the A site, and the bomb is out in no man's land for Envyus.
Nameless, though, pushed up very aggressively as well, and it looks like he might be coming around a player, and there you go. That player takes a shot. Easy kills for Nameless, and that's a very solid first blood. And, yeah, there you go. I don't know if Nameless saw it or not, but that bomb's down. You got 3 players stacked up over by B. As long as Aches doesn't get picked, this round should be EG's.
I've cast a lot of Call of Duty World War II S&D at this point. That might be one of the worst starting round setups I've ever seen from a team.
Well, see if they can bounce back to at least get the clutch if the opening strats aren't the best. But, yeah, they're just having no problems even moving towards that bomb. Aches is still by himself over here against Slasher, but it's kind of a kill that Slasher needs to get just to open up the round, because now it's Huke and Temp that we're working into before, and there you go. Aches wins that. This round is just falling apart. Now they got to sprint into the FGs, and yes, they're working in tandem, but what can you really do? Temp by himself doesn't even get the kill on Nameless, so Nameless has at least 2 to his name, working to some streaks. But I will say, I don't necessarily think that that's a terrible opening strat, but that player has to be able to see the cross to know if Nameless is going to get behind him. Like, if you're playing by yourself, you got to know if players can cross the bell.
I just don't get why you send your bomb there by himself. I mean, there's no one even within reach to do anything. At least have your bomb guy be the one that's near bunker. So you already have a guy that's pushed up field, so you can decide to go there, on a moment's notice. Lets you rotate when you have that guy in middle tank, but whatever. Either way, I'm not the pro. As we will see a quick first blood for Classic. Enable holding the angle, try to peek on out. It looks like Aches again will answer right back. Now a 3v2 for Envyus.
Yeah, and Huke is going to be almost immovable. I think they already got rid of all their stuns and nades, so you see the instant rotation coming in, and, well, there you go. First blood is going to get turned into that 3 versus 2 situation. EG, rough spot. They got to play for a pick. Slash is the god man out. Slash is also in an incredible position, but I like what Envy is doing. They have everything covered. They got Huke in a fantastic spot. Classic's right next to him. It's forcing EG to pull off something crazy, but Huke calls this out. Knows exactly what's going on, and yeah, he's not even going to get tagged up, really. Trade comes in. I won't say perfect, but very close to it round for Envy.
Yep, beautifully done. Temp does have to watch out for Aches, who keeps holding that deep angle with the FG-42. If he was sniping there again, as he went to go peek, he just got shredded. So we know how powerful that AR can be from range. Aches doing a little bit better on this S&D than the hard point, but then again, I don't think it was possible to do worse, unless you look at just 0-10. As we load into round 4, what does Envyus do on offense? Their last offensive play was abysmal. This one, at least sending 3 players together towards field, looking a little bit better. This is going to be their smoke strategy we saw yesterday. Aches, one shot. They know he likes to play in the bomb by himself.
And now Aches just has to run. He has to get back ice, and it looks like he's going to be successful. And long enough for Enable to pick up 2, so Classic and Huke go hunting for kills, but Aches get out in the nick of time. Still, though, Slash is able to get 1, so not the end of the road here for Envy, but now, well, it's just about to be. Slasher's position is known as well. Aches is looking over. This is just FGs everywhere. And yeah, not much you can do, though. So very good round for EG. Again, on the credit, not only does Aches get out, but Huke and Temp chase the kill. Enable cleans both of them up. So solid round from EG.
Yeah, great job by Aches. They're just kind of hightailing it out of there. He definitely got call-outs from Enable as well. Like, hey, I'm watching over you. I'm watching over you. Just come on, sprint right on out. They thought they had a chance to catch that timing, but they were not ready for Enable to be there pre-aiming with his AR. 3-1 now for EG as they are bouncing back slowly but surely from that map 1 loss.
And here you go. Here's the new strat. They're going to smoke out that B cut because they knew at least 2 players are going to play over on the B side for Envy. The question is Classic going to try to push through? But that's exactly what Enable is waiting for. Once that smoke clears, it's going to go down. But either way, Nameless, the pressure's coming down the A bomb site. Not only gets 1, but gets 2. Classic's trying to come up the back, but yeah, he's going to get cleaned up. And this is just strategy coming out on top for EG.
Temp all by himself. 1 team kill. That's about it. EG. Beautiful strategy there to go up 4-1. You love to see stuff like that. And now after Envy, you've got to continue to think, hey, that can come out at any time. You've got to be ready. I will say I'm surprised that, the 2 at A didn't expect something like that. They just both kind of get first blooded and they take control of the site.
Either way, though, like, you have no information. You don't know how fast it's going to come. Their positions might not have been great, and you're getting overwhelmed in that 3v2, right? But that's EG. They've shown B twice. They forced people to go over to defend B, and then they just mix things up completely. But again, strategy OP. Nameless, more importantly, able to get another kill on board for him, sitting at 5-2. And now the situation where Envy, they get first blooded, and now they're just stuck. And the bomb is down as well.
Oh, yeah. No, they know exactly where that is now. Temp gets gunned as well. Nameless hitting all the shots, it seems. 3 first bloods to his name as well so far in this game alone. Slasher will get pinched just like that. It's another round win for EG, and they're getting hyped right now, Chance.
Yeah, no, after he's feeling good, it's hard not to get hyped, right? Like, after that map one, it's very easy to just, like, look across the table and be like, all right, Higgs, we need you to step it up just a little bit, and we'll be good to go. But, again, it's a team. They've had rough map ones. They've been very, very good at bouncing back. And so far, they've done so, of course. Still a long way to go. We've seen comebacks before. Like, every single search EG has played so far has gone around 11. So they're definitely going to look to just try and close this one out soon. And it looks like they're going back to mid-map once again.
Yeah, they definitely do not want to go to round 11 here as they're currently up 5-1. But anything is possible. That same smoke in middle map has landed. Slasher gets shot in the back at first hard point. And just like that, it's a 2 versus 4 Envy. Looking like they're about to get closed down out here in game 2.
Well, Hafty is going to fall. Huke able to get that nade on top of him. The bomb is down mid-map, so you have Temp actually not too far away from a player in mid. But EG, they're just very stationary. They're waiting to see if Envy is going to make a mistake, because Envy, they might feel a little bit pressured. Like, they don't have control of the A side at all, so they might feel in the 2v3 they need to make moves so the bomb doesn't go down. Of course, they might not know that EG doesn't even have the bomb in hand, but still 3v2.
Beautiful positioning from Enable. He's expecting Temp to go check and see if that bomb's still there. Enable's all by himself in middle map. He gets the kill. And there's the round win and game victory for EG, tying the series 1-1.
You gotta imagine, almost like a flawless performance, right? They show B twice on offense, and while they have a decent bit of success, then they mix things up, hit that mid-map rush, smoke off the players that they know will be defending B, hit over A, they do the second thing the next time around, and Envy. What adjustments did they really make? Like, they got picked apart repeatedly, just nothing went right for them. So, yeah, great bounce back map for EG.
Envy looked very, very lost there on Ardennes Forest, search and destroy. Aches bounces back, though. Great performance from him alongside the rest of Evil Geniuses to now tie the series 1-1. That's an example of a must-win map for me if you're Evil Geniuses. You've set yourself up now for a chance to take the series lead in CTF. Can they make it happen, though, is the question. This is the CWL Pro League Division B action. We're in match 4 of 5 today. The battle of 2 North American powerhouses continues after this quick break.
I've never been to a place that's embraced me as quickly as New Orleans. When I see the end zone, it's over with.
There's an excitement that just rushes through the crowd because you never know what he's going to do.
I'm diagnosing moves before I make them. On Sundays, it's a party. I got to show love to the fans for loving me and embracing me. I've never been to a place that's embraced me as quickly as New Orleans. When I see the end zone, it's over with.
There's an excitement that just rushes through the crowd because you never know what he's going to do.
I'm diagnosing moves before I make them. On Sundays, it's a party. I got to show love to the fans for loving me and embracing me.
Like for me personally, I live in
I've never been to a place that's embraced me as quickly as New Orleans. When I see the end zone, it's over with.
There's an excitement that just rushes through the crowd because you never know what he's going to do.
I'm diagnosing moves before I make them. On Sundays, it's a party. I got to show love to the fans for loving me and embracing me. I've never been to a place that's embraced me as quickly as New Orleans. When I see the end zone, it's over with.
There's an excitement that just rushes through the crowd because you never know what he's going to do.
I'm diagnosing moves before I make them. On Sundays, it's a party. I got to show love to the fans for loving me and embracing me. I've never been to a place that's embraced me as quickly as New Orleans. When I see the end zone, it's over with.
There's an excitement that just rushes through the crowd because you never know what he's going to do.
I'm diagnosing moves before I make them. Sundays it's a party. I gotta show love to the fans for loving me and embracing me. I've never been to a place that's embraced me as quickly as New Orleans. When I see the end zone, it's over with.
There's an excitement that just rushes through the crowd because you never know what he's going to do.
I'm diagnosing moves before I make them. On Sundays, it's a party. I gotta show love to the fans for loving me and embracing me.
I feel like us veteran players and more experienced players don't really feel pressure when we're playing, but it was definitely a lot of pressure to make it to the season one and to the league. It's probably the most important thing right now. After Dallas, I think we realized we had really close games against the top 4, top 6 teams, insanely close to the point where we could have easily made it, top 4, top 6. And we realized we have a lot of potential. There's these little mistakes and these little things that are costing us. And we really felt that we deserve to be a top team and we can easily do it.
At Dallas, I don't think we necessarily played bad, but we weren't consistent in enough game modes that we were at New Orleans. And that's something that we really worked on. We really wanted to get better at every game type and be more well-rounded.
So we just went back home, started to practice more, took it more serious, started putting more time in.
I mean, we've just been practicing every single day, really just trying to prepare as much as we can, watching a lot of VODs on the other teams in our division, because we know we barely made it into the league, but we know that's not where we're at. I know we can definitely win an event this year. I would say we're, as confident as we can be coming into this event. We've prepared as much as we could. And I felt like we made great strides in getting better as a team.
We have so much potential. Easily, we could be like a top 2, top 3 team. And, we just got to keep working hard. I mean, I feel like if we continue to put the time in and really try to improve and set this goal for ourselves, I think we can easily make it to the top.
I think we just kind of have to go all in with each other. We really have to believe how we want to play as a team. Just go in, trusting our gut, trusting our teammates. As long as we get on the same page, we can easily be the best team in the game.
Words used like top 2 or 3 team, or I believe we could be the best team in the game, or I believe we can win an event this year, used in the video by EG players when describing EG players. Chance, do you agree with their sentiments?
I agree with the sentiment of they weren't consistent in their...
Oh, God!
I can agree with that because we've even seen it. Like, literally from map 1 to map 2, we saw at least one player that's inconsistent in his performance for the respawn, but then obviously in search, they're there. So I agree with it. They can fix their inconsistencies. They're going to be a force of the team to be reckoned with, but at the moment, they're not quite there holistically, so I'm not putting them anywhere near the top 2 or 3. For now, can that happen long term? Maybe, but a lot of things can happen, Jack. A lot of things.
A lot of things can happen indeed. We've got a hell of a lot of Call of Duty action here in the CWL Pro League where we expect all these teams to improve. Right now that we do have a series on our hand, folks. Envy versus Evil Geniuses. Envy struck first, dominating in the hard point after Aches went 9-30. But in S&D, Aches and crew struck back 6-1, really kind of making Envy look like they had no idea what was going on. We will now move into CTF on Ardennes Forest. It's a slower-paced map. We've seen so far today a couple CTFs that have been absolute blowouts. You feel the same is going to happen here?
No, I think it definitely should be close. You might want to give the edge to Envy. I think even their CTF record they posted back in Orleans is pretty solid, like 5-2, something along those lines. But you got to imagine, like, just returning to boots on the ground, going back to CTF is something that, like, Ace, who just had a bad map 1, should be perfectly fine at, right? So, like, the intelligence for CTF is certainly going to be there for EG. They just need to make sure that all 4 players have a solid performance. And I think they'll be fine for, at the very least, a competitive map.
Let's see if it is actually going to be a competitive map. Off the break, we're following Apathy. His job, watch the overextension through Bell. His shadow's been spotted, so he'll have to hide for now. You saw in the Kill Feed Classic actually using the bar off the break. Saw John using that weapon earlier on for Luminosity Gaming. Now, kills being traded, map positioning slightly in favor of EG, but as I say that, it's Slasher and Temp getting kills. Envy now on the offensive.
Yeah, and it's going to be Temp and Slasher that are now that new duo. Temp's going to pick up another pretty big kill as well to at least get that bunker control, and that's going to buy his team time to set up however they want to choose to go about it. Now you have Classy keeps push up the left side. They got two players pushing for the flag, and at the very least that should be traded because there you go. Puke's coming from mid-map. This flag's going to become out in Classic. He's been waiting here from the start. Yes, he has a bar, but he's watching the cross. Knows one player is passed, but well, he doesn't chase, and that is at the very least going to slow EG down. But there's the counter pull. Slasher's got to win the gunfight. Has the FG, has it pre-aim. Easy win for him. Great reaction. Gets the streaks. This is Envy looking great in the first minute, Jack.
And he knows exactly where Ace is. That's a free kill. Here comes the return for Slasher. The capture. The full streaks earned if we go to Temp. He's close as well to streaks.
And they're just letting it ride as well. Hugh hasn't really slowed down too much either. So across the board, doing a pretty solid job. But either way, the streaks on fours, that's just absolutely massive. Of course, though, it's going to be back to about that 50-50 map split, though. Envy, slight edge.
Evil Geniuses, they're down now in another respawn. Let's swap over to the squad repping blue in this series in your scoreboard and go to an Astro game and listen in.
Stay up. Hold the angle. Let's beat there. I have my own. Hopefully, you see me.
What's outskirts? I got him.
Nice.
All right, listen,
guys. In bunker, stay alive. Do not peek those front bunker kills. It's not working.
Peeking out.
On this guy mid.
Slasher's on the left side. Slasher's far left. Push out far left from bunker.
Got you to get him.
Push out far left bunker.
Got him.
Nice. We're missing one. He's in bunker. 4-4. That's Huge Classic.
Go right.
I'm trying to get Kevin Heady.
Yeah.
He's in ice Heady. But on me.
I'm holding it for you. Alright, get it.
But on me hurt. I got one.
Fourth.
But on me hurt. But on me need to push me.
Yo, let's try. Can we make a push here?
I'm going to push back
Top you.
Once back the flag. I'm stunned. Yeah, man.
Top rows. I'm top one right here with you. Yeah. Or and you can push it.
I'm holding forward.
Corner check though. Could be inside door.
Back left. One shot. I got one. Let's go. It's our opening. Yeah. I'm pushing. I'm gonna take it. I'm going down. Is it Heady? One shot, Slasher. Low Heady. Go Heady. One shot.
Oh, low Heady got me.
On the bridge. He jumped out on the left side. That was him.
Nice. Temp Classic.
I'll try. Just one hit.
All good.
That's gonna be run.
They don't have a
run.
In it, bunker.
Gotta take off mountain.
Yeah, they only have a gun. They have a quarter.
Just one back bunker.
Oh, he's far left cave.
Okay,
you gotta go left.
Nice.
Round me out.
I got it out.
He's on the Heady. Is
he pushing?
Yeah, no, not yet. He's going 2 seconds.
Oh, and our flag, guys. He's pulling a bunker.
Do not fight those front bunker kills, please. Listen to me.
Gotcha. That challenge outside.
You hear there, Aces. One of you guys has to push left. They don't have anyone challenge the AR on the left side. Now the artillery dropped as well. This has all the signs of being a capture and a 2-0 lead for Envyus chance.
And that's a perfect artillery as well. Gets the cutoffs, makes it easier to watch your lanes, and the flag cap comes in. At the nick of time, though, Acme is able to pick up 3 and gets the flag out. So I think he actually snuck through the artillery. So talk about a streak.
Here's the more important thing. He still has Mountain on. So the glide bomb is huge, which I don't even think they're going to use it. It won't see him. Not going to be used. This will be a great counter cap for EG. As here it goes. Armored, energetic, the capture, and now he's 1 kill off of earning streaks too.
And good night as well. Like, he must have been, 3 or 4 feet away from not only picking up the 3-piece, but from stopping Envy from getting that flag. But more importantly, they are trying to set up their return, but Nameless is going for the kind of hero play, and Envy was on the ball for that. So you like what you see from EG. Even in the comms you hear, he's not going to see me potentially. I have Mountain on, and that's just instant recognition, right? Not only are they calling out the order of players that are spawning and calling out when they spawn, but they're aware when other teams have streaks. And again, they might not be getting the kills, but at the very least are playing smart CTF.
I think a lot right now. They know that there's a pressure pushing forward from Envy. They want to go for one final pull, but at the same time, Acme, he wants these streaks so badly. As you can see, he's just laying down, trying to protect his flag. 20 seconds left. Envy closing on in. It's going to be a 3v3 on the flag peg. Entry now from Classic. Second kill, though. Not going to come in for Envyus. It's Hoop now dead. Slasher dead. And streaks earned for Apathy. Great stuff from EG. They hold their base and they go into the half only down 1.
And here's my question about Envy is they even get halftime to try and think this one over. Do you think they're going to be smart enough to put on the mountain? Because we saw Apathy, Glide Bomb, and Fighter Pilot. Do you think they're players in a team that's going to be as aware as EG was? Of course, maybe for EG it's a little bit easier because I think Slasher just got 6 in a row and a return. So granted, that's a much easier job. But at the same time, some of the best players, some of the smartest players in the world are actually that good at keeping track of that sort of
thing. I think the big thing here is that they have to remember, hey, there was a guy that got a score on in. First player, no mountain. Second player, no mountain. Third player, no mountain. Fourth player, no mountain. So if there's a pull from EG, and they call it a fighter pilot, everyone will not only be exposed, but will probably get shredded down by that powerful score streak.
Yeah, of course, though, before the score streaks even come into play, they got to get past Slasher, right? But there you go. Nameless able to get behind enemy lines, at least for the moment. But there, again, Slasher, man, is 14-6, having himself a field day.
Slasher and Ace both get kills in their spawn to protect their flag. 30 seconds into the second half. It's Envy who have their AR player in Slasher now in the power position. Oop, trying to inch up his outside Ruins lane. Not going to work out for him there. Again, kills us being traded. Every single life counts in CTF. Slasher, 15-6. Leading his team again in slaying, and there's the mortar for the player outside cabin. Not going to get the kill. Oh, there you go. The last one does connect.
That's a very interesting use as well. That must have been like, we're having trouble getting past Slasher. He might be working on streaks. Let's just shut it down now. So not necessarily the absolute best investment, but they do get something out of it, at least the opportunity to kind of extend a little bit of map pressure. And that's going to be Ace. He's able to reclaim that cabin wall, and that's absolutely one of the most important power positions on this map.
Oh, Ace actually went to go jump challenge a corner and hit his head on the doorway, so shots go off a little bit because of that. Temp with another kill. You just saw Nameless in a 1v1 near the flag. Will he check his right corner? He goes to, but Ace with MG there makes that easy.
Yeah, and of course, this is the benefit of EG, the situation they found themselves in, right? Like, they make sure to only go down one flag at the half. Now they're on the slightly better side, I think is fair to say, because of how difficult it is for Envy to pull out flags. Of course, Slasher still has that glide bomb, so if they get enough control, might want to call it in. And, well, there's 2 kills. The opportunity's here. Ake's still in that same spot with EFG. Hugh trying to make something happen. Slasher's coming around the back. Now the gunfights are there. Hugh able to get the kill, get the flag, and that player should be able to get out because Slasher's here to cut off Nameless.
Yeah, he can't even trail, and he knows it.